Welcome all to the Hype Lounge. This is your boy Rock. Today is July 31st, 2012. We're gonna have a glorious time with the fam, with the team. As they come in, we had this conversation. Let me turn my music down. I wonder if you guys can hear the cousin in the background. I don't know. We do something cool with my picture. Yeah, guess that's not it. Here I am. I messed this up. Go back. All right. Let's see. I got my multi-stream on. I'm like, man, I'll just continue to work. I was streaming yesterday, right? Yeah. Let me see. Oh, I should work on this. This is the Devo art for it. Hopefully I can get it done by tomorrow. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Let me see something. Let me see. I think I'll work on this while we're here. So it'd be dope if I could have it done by tomorrow morning. I'll probably work on it tomorrow morning so I could share this. And I really like how it's coming out. So yeah. I should probably try to check out different playlists too, so I can find out kind of the stuff that I like. Matter of fact, let me see if I can do all this. Where's my freaking window capture? Wrong one. Hold on. What the? Okay, forget it, guys. Display. Window. Oh, this is, you can't even see it. You can't not see it. This one though, I'm like, this is it. Audit? Let's see what happens. What is this? Okay, it's nothing. it's nothing. Alright, never mind. Alright, cool. Let me see what else we got. The music we're listening to, guys. Relax Movement on the YouTubies. So we got a couple of playlists. Gaming mix, no copyright EDM. Gaming music, relaxing chill hip hop, gaming background beats, 1 hour. Twitch safe. And we got homies with a whole Twitch safe like playlist. 303 songs? We might jump into that. Let me see what's going on. All right, cool. Let's have fun with this. So a lot of beautifulness is going on. I'm really enjoying it. What I wanted to do though was I wanted to all right, my boy Brandon's on, so let me go jump on his. Let me just get his stream going real quick. And then he's gonna join, the homie's gonna join chat. Yo. Yeah, I like this mess too. This is gonna be a Devo art, so hopefully, yo, what is good, man? And man, you're getting me hyped, dog. Like the freaking you having the idea and then you just going out and doing it. It's pretty powerful, bro. Like, man, the environment that you're building right now, dog. It's just the tip of the iceberg. It's just freaking super dope. Shoot, what did I want to do? I'm thinking about this artwork. Let me go find Brandon's stream real quick. He's probably gonna jump into the chat in a bit. I wish I could get those little things where it shows like the emojis of who's chatting. Yeah, I know. Me too. Which has a freaking hyper PC as well. It's coming, bro. It's coming, and when it gets here, and dog, you're gonna be like, ugh, just doing all kind of stuff. Who's gonna be in front of his screen like all day? So it's coming. Let me try also turning on this. What happens when I turn this light on? Oh my god, look how bright that mug is. Ooh, look at that. Freaking good morning. Yeah, let me see. I'll turn this one off. I don't need this then. Little backlight. A little backlight. No, we don't need that. We'll keep that. It's dark right here in this light. This mug is bright. This is cool. I can change the colors on this too a little bit. Little flesh, little blue. That's supposed to be the white. That's the updating the tactics on the lighting, I guess. Well, no, this was just for I got it for the classes so that this white light would kind of reflect on the paper, and we get like more of a truer sense of the color when we do the watercolor. But shoot, oh yeah, I said I was going to find my boy Dr. Brandonia, and I wonder who is going to come into the thing. I'm like, B, what? Who is this, Pris?
Yeah.
Oh my god, like my heart. I was like, oh, I haven't heard you in like so long. Oh my gosh, yo.
Where is everybody else though?
I don't know. Brandon's online, but he didn't get into the. I see him talking. Oh wait, I have him on mute. Hold on. On his he on his Twitch, but he didn't. Brandon, go to jump into the into the Discord. What is this guy? I know.
I'll come up with questions today.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be super dope. Hold on, let me see. I gotta make sure you guys are loud enough. I'm gonna turn down my music so I can make sure that. Let me turn this down like that, and then let me just make sure. Okay, that should be good. Where's Brandon? What happened? I heard you and then you cut out. Oh, Brandon is here. Pris,
We calling everybody out.
What's good? What's good with y'all?
Just turn it off.
I'm down.
What is that? What is that?
Remember that's the.
when we were all drawing on that one.
Why is it?
Yo,
last
this
time?
scored too much.
That's okay.
My internet.
That's okay. I haven't really gotten started yet, so you can probably hang on to Rok-Mo stream. I'm still like
for
setting
sure.
up, so it's all good.
Okay.
Sure, I can hit up the magma. I gotta go get my my tablet
Yeah.
so I can sketch.
Just
in there.
ignore anything
No,
I'm doing on this stream thing. It's all good.
Where's the rest of the team? What's
ain't
going
special
on?
yet.
We have like a trio of people, but
All right, we got Kendall in
What's
the
up,
building.
y'all?
hey,
Yes.
Oh,
oh my goodness,
AM3.
yo,
welcome to the
is that
chat.
Kendall?
Come on.
Oh my goodness.
In the
It's
flesh,
been-
baby.
Yeah.
It's been too
I like to hear
long.
I am glad to be back. I miss y'all.
I know.
It's crazy.
Jeez.
It's been a good minute, man.
Yo, man, when was the last time we did this? Was like March? Was it like March?
Pretty much,
was-
yeah. Like
Was it way back
So-
then? Or
February
was
or
it?
March.
So
Yeah, it was
basically,
earlier.
half the year
Actually, if you
has
check the Discord chat, that'll
Oh,
let
yeah.
you
Oh,
know.
right, right,
Like,
tell us.
That's true.
So yeah, it was actually February 27th.
Wow,
Jeez,
that was
yeah.
like half a year ago already. Half the year,
Almost half a year ago.
bro.
I can't believe it was 5 months. Jeez.
You know, time flies when you're doing adult type stuff. But
Yeah.
it's also a pleasure to be able to talk with you guys. So thanks for inviting me to this tonight. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to draw, but I have like questions coming up.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
I got some questions.
Okay.
No, we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait though. We're gonna wait till everybody
Wait.
comes in, gets settled, and then I'm gonna
Okay.
go ask my questions. I feel like it would be good for like what's that word? Like a survey question.
Oh, dope.
for people.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
Okay.
Okay, we see you, Prince. We see you. We see you.
Hey.
Getting these setups up
I know.
here. She like, yo, I
Hey.
came with the setups.
Dude, you guys invited me to this. I'm like, you know what? I should probably take time to ask them some deep, informative
Some
questions
deep.
because I need it. I need it.
Okay,
we
now
need
we
that.
all
We need
need
that
it.
tech. We need that tech.
We all need it. We all need it. Let me see. Is Trey is here? I don't know if he knows.
Oh, is he gonna jump in the chat?
I don't know. He just went offline. We'll see. I'll text him to see if he wants to jump in. the
Yeah,
chat.
if they want to jump in, I would love to hear their intro. I'd love to get to know them and hear where they're
Right.
from and how they know you. So that'd be super cool.
So let me see real quick. What am I looking for?
Which one I can do it, actually. This is the
Let's see. How do you just? Oh, it's hard to navigate. To tell somebody how to get here. Let me see. Oh, Trey, he's on the YouTube. He's in the chat. Hey, Trey, what up?
stuff. All right.
I'll see if he wants to come in the voice. If not, we'll just chill.
Hey, there's a YouTube stream?
Well, yeah, because I'm streaming on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook.
Yeah, he's
Right now.
multi-talented.
Wow.
Multi-talented.
Oh my goodness. Like all over the
it's-
internet. This man does not miss.
He's making sure he
It's
earns
just-
across every stream.
Wow. It's, yeah.
No.
Well, we're trying things, man. No, pay for this service, so I should use it. You know what I mean? So,
Exactly, right?
Facts.
yeah.
You pay for the
Facts.
service, and in turn, you get more people to come to you, and then make them pay.
Wow.
So you can pay for this service.
It's like,
That's
now
what I
you pay
said
for
it.
me.
Brand's just like, let's
Friend.
get this money.
I'm trying to get y'all
Brett?
some WAP. I'm trying to get y'all some paper.
Brand straight up said, let's get this money.
I know.
Pretty
He's
much.
like, real quick, let's start it.
Like, pay my homie Rok-Mo now. Y'all be watching the streams. Donate. Don't look at me. Don't ask me why I'm saying all this.
You
Pick
always
my
be
friend.
saying that.
Help a friend out.
Let me see.
Oh, yeah.
Frame setting. Score to the right. All right, cool.
It's dope.
I don't know. Yeah, it's like Trey. You would go to the Discord. You would go like look into the. There's like a text channel and then there's a voice channel, and you would click in that voice channel and then you could speak through Discord. So hopefully you can figure it out, or I can at least show you on this PC right here. It's like over here. You would like select that. Like that, or select in here. Oh yeah, I guess I could like share my screen on the Discord too.
Wait, that's a thing? I thought we were just talk, but that's awesome.
No, you can do that.
It activates like a multi-video chat, but I don't think everyone has to be on it.
I'm
Yeah.
still Discord illiterate.
That's cool, man. You have the rest of your life to figure it out.
Right.
Nah. I already put too much energy into other stuff. I've gone as far as I can with Discord. I'm gonna just talk to y'all. Whatever happens after that.
We're just
you know
gonna
what?
die on this. We're just gonna die on this hill.
Pretty
Like no
much.
more technology.
Nah.
That's the end of technology.
I thought I was gonna be a tech savvy dude a couple of years ago, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be all about it. And then there's just this whole world where I'm like, no, I'm already an artist, man. I can only commit my brain to so much stuff. Like, I know how to operate the computer and the internet. I'm good.
I said I'll just stay there.
Pretty
Dude, Kendall, where have you been? Kendall, you've been like under the radar for such a long time. I thought you went MIA, dude.
Yeah, I've been trying to just trying to hide out. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to take cover. You know what I'm saying?
Dude's out here in the trenches.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Keno out there working, man. He out there
No, y'all ain't
golfing.
paying attention to this dude's stories. He's out there getting his golf game on.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
well, so where's my ticket to the Masters now, player?
Oh, bro. Yeah, it's true. I've been. Where to start with that? Do you want to wait till everybody else gets here? You guys want me to talk about it?
You can talk about it.
Sure, if you're comfortable, feel free.
What's up, Trey?
Yo, what's going on?
Oh, Trey, you're up in here. Okay,
Oh,
dope.
oh,
dope,
there we
dope.
go.
Hey, what's good,
Nice.
Trey?
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Doing super.
Good. What's going on, man?
Chilling.
I got YouTube
Pretty
in the
good.
background. I got to turn off because it's a major echo on my headphones.
Oh yeah, you can put it on mute or something. So Trey, it is good to hear your voice, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Trey,
yes.
how do you know Rok-Mo? Please introduce yourself because I have no idea who you are. And no offense to you, but like I'm very curious. Like, who is this person that Rok-Mo has welcomed to the chat?
I'm just a student, I guess, somebody that wants to learn from him. I forgot where I first started seeing his work, but I was really into it. I doodle on the side, so I just wanted to learn from somebody who draws more often, has really cool art, especially the coloring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So color studies. Are you trying to illustrate in some professional way? Like I feel like everybody in this chat does it. They did it as a hobby at one point, but then there was a turning point which made them determine what they wanted to do with their craft.
Yeah, so like I do some things on the side for other people, different designs and stuff, and it's kind of weird because I've been going through a lot of changes, especially this year with jobs and stuff, and like I'm realizing even though I'm not doing fully art like I want to, I was like, one of the advantages I have in my field is nobody really draws, so I'm like I kind of use that. Like everybody wants something, some kind of design or something, and most people are just like, oh, you can draw a stick figure, that's amazing. I'm like, okay. If I could draw a little bit more than a stick figure, they're impressed.
So you
it's
just,
pretty
so
cool.
basically you took the gig because you're just flexing on everybody.
Right? Yeah, something like that. As long as no other artists go in there, I'd be good. They're like, wow, I didn't know you could do all this. I'm like, you guys have no idea. But it's cool.
No,
Yes.
that's dope, dude. If you know what your skill is, totally bring that to the table. Always. Always.
So, how is everybody? Who are you? What's going on with this crew? This is my first time really meeting other people besides Rok and Kendall.
My name is
Party
Priz. Okay, sure. My name is Paris, but everybody calls me Priz. It's a nickname.
Okay.
I just ask the most intrusive questions in this chat all day, every day. So if it gets too personal for you, don't feel pressured to answer the question. But I came equipped with questions tonight because I wanted to get some outside info or some tech for my own craft. Yeah. So that's me. That's me.
That was short and sweet. Dang. Put me on the spot. I thought I'd have more time to craft my intro. But it's all good.
Just tell them what you want to tell them. You could tell them you're a freaking billionaire on the East Coast or some shit.
Not
You
really.
wouldn't
If I
know.
were a billionaire, shoot, I would not be here right now. In fact, I own Twitch. They take
Yo.
off all these stupid ads.
Okay,
But-
manifest.
But, all right. First and foremost, Trey, welcome to the round table. We're so happy to have you here. My name is Brandon, aka Brandonian, aka Brandonian Syndrome, if you're nasty. No, I'm kidding. Me and Rok-Mo kind of put this together a couple months ago, and we just want to, for any artist of any level or feeling, whatever your persuasion, to feel free to come on here and talk about your perspectives and such. And I've known the homie Rok-Mo for many, many years now. I won't go into how many.
Oh my
because that would just
gosh.
show my age, and I want to be young at heart forever. So I've known him. We've always, in fact, if I probably hadn't been friends with him, I might not be an artist. I can say that with full confidence. I'd probably be doing something else. So
No, I feel like you still
I
would be an
think so.
artist.
I not pursuing professionally. I don't think so. Not pursuing professionally. Probably as a hobbyist, maybe. But I have little yet prior experience in animation, and on the side I do illustrations. Work on my craft, as you can see on my social media platforms, and yeah.
Woo, go
Okay.
Brandon.
Yeah.
I got nothing else. I'm
That's
trying
good
to be
enough. That's a start. Yeah. Great introduction.
Yeah.
Thank
So,
you. Thank you.
oh, I was gonna say this too. Like, so Trey and Kendall, we used to do. And I was thinking about bringing these back up. Like, I would do like these teaching classes on Saturday, and so like they were, I guess, like kind of like students, yeah, of that class. So,
Yeah, students is good.
huh? What happened?
No, I said students is good. That's a
Yeah. Like, they're like
Yep.
like students of the class, and so like, you know, we do like assignments and work, and I would come with like, you know, I don't know, lesson and like critiques and all that good stuff. So, you know, but and yeah,
Shit, rock.
freaking Trey makes it sound like he doesn't like do art much. He's dope. He's good at what he does some dope illustrations. So I don't know if you guys seen his work on IG, but
Not yet.
Yeah,
if
not
if
yet.
he wants to link it in the chat,
Yeah,
you're
I think I
welcome
have
to.
you added, but yeah, put your stuff in there, man. Let people know who the heck you are.
Yeah.
Whether it's Rok-Mo's chat, I don't think anybody's on mine, so that's nice. Say, put it in Rok-Mo's chat.
Oh my god.
Alright, I will. If you hear any background noise, I'm also like moving and stuff. That's why I was trying to tell Rock that I'm trying to be more active with it. Like, I know life happens with everybody, so I'm like, I gotta find a way to fit in things I want to do with other stuff. So like, I'm walking around the house with headphones in right now.
Right.
But
No
I'll
worries.
definitely plug that in. Any suggestions is great, especially see, this is how far behind I am. I don't know if you remember helping me with the one like, it was like a superhero. Now this is gonna sound weird if you're out of context. Yeah, the superhero like shooting water out and like cleaning all the instruments.
Yeah.
Out of context, that sounds weird, but I'm still working on that. Like,
Okay, cool.
it's taking forever. Yeah.
Hey, as long as you're still working on it,
Okay.
that's dope, bro. That's what's up. I mean, like, some projects go long, some are short or whatever, but work is work, man, and that's good.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta show us, or you know, if you have, I don't say you have to, if you want any critiques or any help or anything, yeah, send it to me or whatever. And yeah, just know you guys can send me stuff. Like, please send me stuff. I'd like to help out with that. I know, Kendall, you're about to be working on a new project too, so
Yeah.
that you were telling me about. I don't want to talk for you, but I'm excited about it. So yeah.
Kendall, can we get an intro from you? I just want to see what you're up to right now, because I've really been like, I feel like you've been under the radar for me. So I'm not sure what projects you're working on right now or what you've been doing. Besides Brandon saying this man has been golfing, like, that's an interesting hobby. That's cool.
Oh man. How should I start this off? I guess for right now, the reason I've been so like under the radar and off of social media is because of in the process of going back to school this year. So
For art or for something else?
I tried to look for some art and I wasn't able to find it, so or I wasn't able to get into the school I wanted to because a lot of other stuff is probably I might take like another hour to get into. I might explain it some other time, but like I couldn't get into it, so I'm like, all right, I gotta find another school. So right now I applied for this other school here in my state, and it's for it's online, so hopefully, and I'm trying to wait for like my transcripts to get transferred from my from AI. And that whole thing that kind of took me a little bit of a while just to get a hold of, and a lot of headaches and stuff like that. So hopefully they get it next week, because I'm trying to hurry up and get in by hopefully by August. If not, I'm not sure.
Is that when the semester starts? It's like mid-August, I'm assuming.
Somewhere around there, yeah. So that's the thing I was kind of worried about, was hopefully getting on there on time, but I don't know if it's late. But that and I had to step away from art for a bit, just to be honest. I had, because it was just like, and I was gonna wait till I don't know, like I guess I was gonna wait, like I guess until like another time to tell, when I guess like when I was texting you earlier, Reggie, about like or we were supposed to talk, me and Trey, all three of us were supposed to talk, but
and then it turned into this. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. Because I'm like, man, I don't know if I should say it on you guys' stream or anything like that, but
no, you can say whatever you want.
Whatever you feel comfortable sharing. Like if you don't want to talk about it, don't feel pressured. Don't feel pressured to publish yourself like that. Like honestly.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, it's just I had to step away from it because, like, to be honest, it kind of just burnt me out. Well, I was burnt out from it from a lot. It's like I would always come home from a hard day at work, and I try my best to sketch and stuff like that. And the motivation was just gone at that point. I'm just like, man, I'm like, man, like, what is going on? Like, because I felt so ashamed of myself, because I'm like, man, I haven't drawn for like it's been like a few months now. It's been like since I'm trying to think. Like,
so you put the pen down. You were just like, I'm done for a minute. I need to just not do this for a minute.
Yeah,
wow.
I'm trying to think. The last time I actually sketched was probably like March or April of this year. After one of our classes with Reggie, and then I was like, man, you know what, I might just give this a break for a while, and then then that's when the whole school thing came around. I'm like, okay, hopefully I'll find, like, if I can go back to this school here in my state that has art as a major. I'm like, okay, maybe I can try to get back into it a little bit, but I couldn't, and then that kind of pushed it away, and I'm like, now what? So and that's why I kind of went back into like golfing, as like I think when on my I can't talk, in May is when because my dad wanted to go out golfing one day for his birthday, so that's when me and him went out, and that kind of sparked inside of me, because like I used to, and I forgot to mention this to you, Reggie, like a while ago, like excuse me, I used to play a lot of golf when I was younger.
Dope.
Like in elementary school. And
I mean, I could feel like you did this a lot before, so I was like, yo, this is super dope for you,
Yeah, I played that. My dad got me into it like since elementary school. I think like 4th or 5th grade to like, and then I stopped around sophomore of high school year, and then when I went back into it, I still had the same form. I just had to tweak a few things. I'm still tweaking stuff now, and like and then now wanting to go to like take up a business major. Hopefully, all this when goes through. And the thing I was telling you about also, Reggie, was about like the business idea I have for for me and my dad and stuff like that. The possible, like, if trying to make time for art and stuff, I do want to do like make an instruction book, like a comic form instruction book, like a golf related one for like beginner kids, kids beginner at golf and stuff like that, and make that, and then I'm trying to remember the other one, but that's the only one I could think of. You know, just to like whenever I have some time and stuff like that, and between school and golf and stuff like that. But yeah, every weekend after a week of work, I'm always on the golf course. Even during the week, I'm practicing like my swing and my
Sheesh,
putting.
my
and
guy. Nice.
And then
It's like golf became your weekly reset. So
Yep.
so golf was how you grounded yourself outside of all the BS that you're putting up with at work and all the energy that's being drained out of the rest of the
Yep,
week.
exactly.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and even like I was telling my family, 'cause I hate to say it, I'm watching the Olympics and I'm watching the like the golf players in the Olympics now, and it's
Yeah.
just, man, I'm just looking at them. I'm like, and then even looking at the other Olympic events got me so inspired. Like, man, maybe because it got me because my dad was asking me like, hey, do you want to join a tournament or something? Like,
Yes.
I'm like, you know what? Yeah, you know what? I might join a tournament
Super
sometime this year
dope.
before it gets cold. So, and then then the idea came up of like because the golf course we always, I don't know if you guys, well I know Brandon and Reggie saw, I don't know if Priz or Trey saw my Instagram of like the golf course I go to. It's called Douglas Park in Indianapolis, and that place was the course I went to when I was younger to take lessons at for like so many years. So and we know the people there we knew the people there, and we went back to visit 2 Saturdays ago because they had like their youth tournament, which I used to be a part of and stuff, and I always would get like third place, first place, second place, third place. I would always like,
This guy bodying the competition and just saying like, oh no, I just do it as a hobby.
He was like, it's normal,
and
it's
then just
nothing.
straight up like bodying the competition.
but it,
Okay,
yeah,
that's dope.
and then my dad was asking me like, hey, why don't you like, if you just think about it, like if you could like volunteer and be like a golf instructor for the kids.
Yeah.
And that kind of got me thinking. That's why I came up with the instruction book idea. 'Cause
Right.
I'm like, you know what? Because I don't know who's out there now. So I don't know. They have like a lot of young men and women out, old men teaching the kids golf. I'm not sure who's new there now, but just thinking about, I'm like, man, maybe I can do that. Just teach kids the basics, fundamentals of how you properly swing a club, the basic rules of golf and what you need to do and not do, just that sort of thing. So, just pretty much that's all I've been doing for the past like couple months now, just playing golf. Like ever since May, just play golf on the weekends, watch swing clubs and watch tournaments, and that's pretty much it. And just golf is all I think about now.
No, this is good because you're actually tapping into something I was thinking about before we all hopped onto the chat. One of the things you were talking about was just how you were burnt out at work and how you had to step away from art. And one of the messages that I received before coming in the chat was, do not dismiss your days of rest. And this is something I did personally today. Like normally I would do something similar to Kendall where I would go out to a park and I would practice my flow arts or whatever. But today I was like, I don't have the energy to do it. Like I'm really burnt out from work and I just need to sleep. So for like maybe 7 hours throughout this day, I was just napping, lying down, meditating, thinking. And I want to talk about this because I think it's something we may, as artists and as creators, we may take it for granted because we think that we have to constantly be grinding away at something, constantly improving our craft. But then sometimes we're working so hard that we forget that we owe ourselves rest, that we deserve rest, because like there's out of the 7 days of the week, maybe like we only have so many hours to really put in time to the craft. And I think it's important to make that a statement, like you have to honor yourself and honor the rest that you give yourself, because recovery is pinnacle to getting back onto that stream of creativity or whatever type of flow that you're coming up with. So I wanted to ask the group, how do you deal with burnout and what do you do for your recovery?
This is good. Jeez, man.
Yo, man. And I told you, I told you I had time to think about this, and
Chris.
this was something I
I
wanted to talk about.
I figured if anybody was gonna come with that heat and that fire, it was gonna be prison. So not surprised
Jeez.
at all.
Chris, this is super good. And like, I guess, well, if you don't mind, I'll kind of talk. I'll say something.
Okay.
But
we're all here. So let's go.
like, it was really cool. Like, all this is really cool, especially for today, because today, like, I was supposed to have that class this morning, right? Teach that class. It was starting at 7.
I was gonna ask about that. Yeah.
It started at 7, but guess what? Nobody came to it. I think there was like only there were like 4 people that, I think, because there's 10 seats or 9 seats, I don't know, but 4 people were supposed to come, but for some reason nobody either, I don't know if they didn't get the email or something didn't happen, I don't know, but so we're gonna reschedule it. But and it was cool, I'm totally fine with that. But afterwards I rested so much today. And you know, the thing that I think I talked to Brandon about this, and we talk about it a lot, but it's like how much, you know, grind culture, and like, I don't want to get left behind, and I gotta hurry up. And then we living in freaking 2020 where it's like post, do all this kind of stuff. You gotta be, you know, and all this or whatever. And like, again, like for me, sometimes it's like the hard part is to just rest and respect myself. Like, again, how you say honor myself. And so I did. I said, you know what? Like, no, like, I've had a very tough week. There's been a lot of work at the day job, you know, and especially working in this kind of heat and all this kind of stuff like that. And then, you know, doing artwork when I try to get home and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, no, like, I'm going to rest today. And so like, I pretty much went back to sleep. I got up and I played freaking Spider-Man. So yeah, like, we're playing games, like, again, you guys, because that was the whole thing. Brandon knows like how much like I'm trying to just do things that are more it's the R word, I forget what it is, but more relaxing, and stuff like that, you know. And so, and I took like a whole bunch of naps. I probably gained like 9 hours of sleep all throughout the day, which is great, because usually it's like 4 to 5 hours. And like,
Isn't
before
that crazy, though? Like,
yeah,
you only have so many hours to sleep, and you're like, damn, I gained sleep today. Like,
Right.
but I think that's kind of a crazy extreme, though, because realistically, we should be giving ourselves like 6 to 7.
right, exactly, like each night or whatnot, you know. So like, yeah, it was cool to work. Like, I had to work for that, though. I had to like mentally tell myself, hey, look, no, it's okay to sleep, you're fine. And this is basically like getting this sleep and getting all this is gonna feed into the creativity, into the work that is to come, you know. And for also too, me with, you know, faith in God, like, let me rest and trust that God will provide, and he will bring what I need when I need it. But right now I need to rest. I need to freaking lay down, calm down. And then I watched like 3 episodes of Westworld like before this, and I ate food and I ate freaking ice cream, and I was like, I'm like really relaxing today, you know. And this is the like kind of like the first time I've like kind of like actually like really drawn today, you know. So, and usually Saturday is like, this is the only day that I can fully work on my business, work on art, and so I'm gonna do art all day and stuff like that. And I was like, nah, not this Saturday. This Saturday we're gonna rest. Like, we're not gonna put that type of pressure, you know, like the same thing that like Kendall was talking about, like having all that pressure on yourself to like draw and do this stuff. And you know, now this drawing thing becomes you know, an enemy. It becomes like, you know, something that is not healthy, you know, or whatever. So yeah, so, and I'm trying to just continue to get better and better at it, and like again, do things like this, talk. I also realized too, just I need to be talking with my people, talking with friends, talking with people that really genuinely love me, who care about me, who want to see good things for me, and I want to see good things for them, and just being around people like that, you know. And yeah, I feel like I was talking a lot. Okay, somebody else.
You're good. No, you're good. You're good. It's
The whole
I think
point of
it
the
was,
round table, dude. Don't forget, you're supposed like
Yeah.
perspective, man.
Yeah,
It's all good, and it's good to hear that you're giving yourself rest. Like I said,
Definitely.
like this is something I feel like everybody's been going through it just because we feel like we don't have an opportunity to stop. But we really owe it to ourselves to enjoy these things. Like you said, you're like, oh, I picked up a game today. Like I picked up some video games and I zoned
Yeah.
out because I needed it. It's like we forget that enjoying life is also a big chunk of what we get to do on this time on the planet. So I think it's important for us to allow that type of time and space so that we can recharge and we can look back and say, oh yeah, I had a good day. You know, like I didn't have to stress about anything. I wasn't worried about my business or my bills or whatever. Like it's all good. Like you're just existing, and it's okay.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. And it just
I
real
don't know
quick.
If anyone else wanted to.
Oh
yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say to Kendall, like, man, I'm just super happy for you, bro. Like, just to see all this passion into like you golfing and then just like your relationship with your father and building this business and everything. And then you looking to teach and wanting to create some content for them, like visually, and you know, and I would love, of course, love to help out with that or whatever I can do to help and all that, you know. So like it's just like it's really encouraging to see this, and it just feels like, I don't know, to me it looks like you're happier, you're enjoying life more. So man, just shout outs to Dr. Kendall over there, bro. Like
Dr.
Yeah.
Kendall.
Dr. Kendall.
Yeah, that'd be good. Oh, thank you, man. Because, like, to be honest, right? Like, there were times I wanted to reach out to you, bro, about like, you know, if you had time to talk, just about like the, you know, the burnout thing. But like I said, I felt a bit ashamed and stuff like that, and I should have reached out to you guys, but I didn't. I'm just like, you know, and that's why I haven't been on my art account for like, I don't know how long, probably like March or something. I don't know, but like. I was thinking, to be honest, I was thinking about like deleting that whole page, like altogether.
Jeez.
I was gonna stick with my my personal page, and that's it. You know.
So social media is whatever you decide to make of it. There's no right or wrong way to go about using it. So, I feel really, really strongly about this because people ask me all the time, like, how come you don't make a page for, you know, your art, or you make a page for your writing? I'm like, because everything I do is all encompassing. Like this is how I choose to live my life and how I choose to display myself on the internet. That's really what social media is. So if you like, I want to put the intention out there. Don't stress yourself over
That's good.
what you think you have to publish on that page. Like it really is what you make of it, and it's up to you how to use it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And then another thing, and I'm gonna go on a social media rant for a bit. I don't know. It's like I started like I don't know. I kind of just, there's some times where I'm just like, man, like, I don't know. I just kind of hated it. Like social media. I'm like, man, like this sucks. Like, why is it like, you know, I hate, it's like, why is everything like how it is on social media? Like you see a lot of like, there's a lot of good stuff on there, and then there's a lot of crazy stuff on there.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
here's a pro tip though. Social media is also really fake. let's be real.
Yeah,
Let's be real.
Bumper
People
sticker
only
with
choose-
that saying.
What?
I legit made a bumper sticker like years ago. I think back in 2016. It's like, it just simply says social media is fake. And I think that's probably the
It is,
best
though.
poignant piece of art I've ever done in my natural life.
But it's facts though. It's like if we're being very honest with ourselves, like I think people use social media, one, because they want to show what they're doing, and two, because they want to show highlights of whatever it is that's going on. And
The
how
highlights. You never see
precisely.
Right.
Yeah, because like who wants to see that? It's difficult for people to view those aspects of ourselves. And I know this for a fact that like social media has evolved. Like one of my other friends, I was hanging out with a homie a few months ago, and he talked about how some of us grew up in the internet 1.0 days, like pre-Instagram, pre-Twitter, pre-whatever, and just how politicized everything is now also.
Yeah.
Because everything, there's like a channel for everything and every voice and every opinion that you can think of that's like made public on the
Right.
internet. So I mean, that's why I feel like now just internet 2.0, social media, it is whatever you decide to make of it, and it's not. There's no right or wrong way to do it. You define that. Like if you want to make a page for your sad poetry or whatever, go make that page. Or if you want to make a page that only shows like your portfolio pieces, like
Yeah.
okay, cool, you can utilize that as your business or whatever. But like really, it's really how you decide to use it. And if you don't want to, that's perfectly okay.
Right.
Like I think about deleting my shit all the time too, and I'm like, I feel like I've been here long enough. I'm gonna just keep it and just erase what I don't want, and that's how it is for me. So, however you see yourself using social media, that's how you're gonna use it.
Right.
That's just my take on it.
Yeah. I was at a talk like this with a friend of mine at my well, he doesn't work at my job. He works for FedEx. He picks up packages at my job, and we just started like talking and stuff like that. And since like I think we've been talking since like maybe April, May-ish, but like, and he's all about like he wants to start his own business and stuff like that. And he always talks about like the content that he watches like every day, like like entrepreneurs and and then he always tells me about like some of the people that he watches and stuff like that. And then he kind of went into like a whole rant about like like why would I need to watch this guy's content if I'm not gonna learn anything from there? I would rather just stick with these folks that's gonna give me something like more knowledge and just kind of waste my time just doing other stuff that doesn't really matter to me at all. So I'm like dude, I was like in my head like dang, like that's something I was thinking about too, but I just never had a chance to like talk to anybody else about, or at least like in that debt, like in debt about that. He kind of just was like made me think a little bit like, man, like but because he's all about like he would rather just and he because I even tell him like, hey man, you should check out this song, this music and stuff like that. He's always on he's always just doing his own thing, and he's always like on a schedule and stuff like that. And I'm just like, man, how do people like that even? I don't know. It's like I can't really see how I don't know how he thinks every day. So that's just something I'm just like surprised. Like I don't know how other people do that, where there's just like doing well. I don't know how to explain it, but I hope you guys know what I'm trying to say.
No, I think so. Yeah.
I know.
No, I think,
confusing,
you're
but
talking about his perceptions and how he decides to operate on a day-to-day basis with his social media. It is like that. Like some people use it as their daily newspaper. Some people use it as like a way to connect with other people. Some people use it as like, I'm trying to think of the different ways that people have utilized social media, and it's weird thinking that this is how other people think.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's weird because it's like, oh wait, you're using Twitter for this, or you're using Instagram for that? Like, that's weird. I never looked at it like that. Like the ways in which people use social media to connect with other people or to publish themselves. And then there's some of us that are just like, no, I'm gonna just lurk. I'm gonna just use this shit to lurk.
yeah, exactly.
Purposely, like they do it purposely, because and there's, like I said, there's no wrong way about that, because otherwise I don't think those people would be allowed to have accounts. You know what I mean? Like if they were doing something that was suspicious, or if they were using it for, I don't know, stalker purposes, which is a real thing too. It's like there are other, they have made it in such a way where you can protect yourself from shit like that, or you can filter out that nonsense if you don't want it. So yeah,
exactly. But yeah, it's just I guess it's overall like I kind of I guess it's name of what I said just earlier. Like like there are people, I feel like there are people who I follow, like you guys and other folks that I feel like they're real. You guys you guys, how should I say this? Like you guys are true to your craft pretty much. So you guys like just are honest, posting this stuff for like. and on YouTube too, people just talk about like stupid stuff, and it's just
Clout.
like you're just talking
Yeah.
like this. You need to do this. I'm just like, man, are you serious? Like, I'm just gonna log off and else, I guess.
Kendall's like, man, this is trash. Like this dumb shit is trash.
Right.
Well, there's the thing that Chris mentioned earlier that got me thinking, in regards to basically the difference between generations, because for
Internet
online and
1.0.
stuff like that, you dial up,
Yeah.
and what are you gonna do with that? You see what works for other people, and you see why certain people are brought to prominence, and you're like, but why is this person on TV or in this position and earning millions of dollars, and anybody with common sense and at least half a working eye can see he's a fucking trash bag? Because it's a tool to like try and gain clout and become famous. This is the new way of getting famous without really
Without doing shit.
exactly
Yeah.
without doing hard work. And I don't. And I know there are
Sorry.
influencers
Sorry,
and
I'm,
people
like,
out there.
fussing
No,
over
it's
this.
true. There are people out there who use their social media tools and they put in the work, they put in the craft, and they study. But then there are those people who just like decided to use the Jackass formula for one show that I sadly used to watch, but what the hell ever. Who used the Jackass formula or the troll formula just to try and get famous, and the next thing they know, they're put in positions that anybody else might say, well, you didn't earn it or you didn't deserve it, but who cares? It's entertaining, and as long as you're willing to, put your foot in your mouth and look like an absolute ass bag, it worked. And I think that's the disillusioning part of social media, is that why bother? And I'm out there, and this isn't meant to sound like a pity me, woe with me party, but it's like, yo, I did this to try and like genuinely connect with people and put my work out there, and hopefully, build my profile or meet with and connect with people that can, I can relate to or can help me or I can help them. I'm trying to do it as a genuine thing, and pretty much the world and the internet and the platform that you're using is basically telling you, nah,
Nah.
used to be trash on here, and if you're going to be trash, you ain't trying. We're gonna shadow ban you or however the algorithm works. It's disillusion. It just does. So it's like,
Wow.
I look at my 240 followers on Instagram, and I'm like, man, 2 years ago, I wanted to get to 1,000 followers, and I'm like, that's all that. You kind of get lost in the sauce, like, well, that's really what matters. That's how I built my engagement, like getting all these. Now I'm just like, man, I hope my numbers dwindle. I hope every time I put a post up, I lose 10 followers. I hope every time I put up a new piece of art, somebody says trash, and I'm going away, and I'm unfollowing. And I hope my numbers go down to 5. I don't care anymore. That's not my motivation. Because it's such a short-sighted myopic motivation to have, and it's already like getting lost in the sauce, and you lose yourself. I don't want to do that. I'm too old for that.
Yeah. I agree with you, man. Cause like I don't know, and I guess remembering from our other conversation, cause I get, I do get tired of hearing about like the whole cancel culture. Trying to think what else, like just a bunch of different stuff, like the whole cloud thing, cloud chasing. I'm trying to think what else, like I was trying to think of some of those other things that be going on the interwebs and stuff like that. Just a lot of craziness that be going on. And then like people fighting over like politics, if you don't agree with this, all that stuff. I'm remembering us talking about last time, and now it's kind of, and I was actually thinking about it earlier this week, and and I'm just like, man, because I get so tired of it, because like even at my job, sometimes people kind of, want to ask me questions, or people bringing up like issues that are going on, like, and it's just like something I just don't want to talk about. I'm just like, just leave me alone. I do not want to. I'm just a normal guy. I just mind my own business. I don't like talking about stuff like that, because it especially at work and stuff like that. It's just I don't know. It's just not. It doesn't turn out that great. And then I would rather talk about stuff like this around like, like you guys, where we're not gonna we're not gonna flip out or anything, and then we're like, cussing each other out and hanging up, and we're not cool or
Right.
stuff like that. Like I don't like that. I just don't like how things.
I created this round table so we could all curse at each other, hang up on each other. Nah, I want chaos, discord. But no, I get what you I totally understand that, and I think in regard, like especially in regards to what you're talking about, when people, in my experience and from what I've seen, when people want to talk about things like that at work, they're not really open to an open-minded discussion where differences of opinion are okay. They either want an echo chamber, or they want someone they can argue with so they can make them feel better about themselves and make themselves feel like, oh yeah, I'm actually smart and I have all the answers and this, that, and the third. And it's like, no, you brought this subject up and I might have a different perspective, but are you ready to actually hear that different perspective? Are you actually ready to, like, if you want to have that kind of conversation at work, really why at work, but whatever, why do you want to have that conversation if you're not ready to like have an open mind about it? So no, like I don't want to talk about politics with you because your politics might be different from mine, and the last thing I need is to get into a discussion with you where you're condemning me for my views or my thoughts. Nah.
Exactly.
No one's mature about it. That's pretty much what it boils down to. Very few people are mature enough to have that talk at work. So don't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just don't do it.
And I remember you, Brandon, like you posted some stuff. I don't know, like what happened, like between like, because I remember some of the posts you had about like your views on certain things, and you was talking about like mentioning certain people like didn't agree with you and stuff like that. And I guess you guys had like a little, they took it really, I don't know, took it to heart, or they strongly disagree, and I don't know, they unfollowed you or something. I don't know what happened.
It depends on how long ago that was, because it might have been the not applicable comic I posted like way last year about like black cosplay. I know I got some kind of static for that, but that dude was dumb. I'm gonna just put it out there. Like he was just looking for somebody to fight with, and I just wasn't having it. And never mind. I know what you're talking about. So I'll make this story very short because I think I might have talked about it with Riz, if not Rok-Mo. But in regards to last year, this was around the election. If you know me, unless we're face to face and I know you very well, I'm not going to have deep conversations with you. I'm going to keep things very light, and I'm going to make a joke about everything because, again, not everybody's ready to have a mature conversation about what's going on in the world. And so it was in regards to the presidential debates. And I made the same joke that I made 4 years prior. It was the same, asinine joke that everybody knew. If you read it, it's just Brandon messing around. Like, pretty much it's expressing the same things that we all might be thinking. Both these candidates are dumb and we're all gonna die. Like, you get it, it's just dumb, and it just meant it like, okay, haha, Brandon, chuckle. Well, someone who I've known for, I don't know, we're going on 20 years now, decided that he was going to get in a huff about it, and he was going to send me a message via Instagram, and he was going to try and get in my cheeks and tell me, why I was being a hypocrite and I was wrong, and how my podcast, like some of my podcast pictures, like icons were subversive, and how I was anti-American. And I'm like,
Wow, dude.
bruh,
I do remember this. Yes.
bruh, you remember back in 2016 when I made the same damn joke and everybody laughed about it, and I just repeated the same joke 4 years later, and now that you found political religion and you found someone to back, now you're like, oh, well, everybody's wrong and you're anti-American and you don't support this, that, and the third. And I'm like,
Yikes.
you're not ready for the kind of conversation you're trying to ignite. And it was just a lot of that. And it's like, Well, we agree to disagree. No. There's no agree to disagree. You came at me. I didn't have a dog in this fight either way, but you got in your feelings and decided to come at me and then got mad when I stood up for myself. And that's really what I was talking about. And so to this day, we still have not spoken. And that's on him. Like, we have a mutual friend. He's always trying to get me to get in touch with him. I'm like, I did not do anything. I have nothing to apologize for. So if he's too afraid to talk to me because he thinks I'm gonna like get in his cheeks about whatever happened back in November, I don't care. I was over it after the conversation was done. Cool. Guess what? I have other friends who don't nearly give me as many gray hairs over dumb shit. I'm good, player. I'm good. And so, like, maybe every 3 months, like, our mutual friend hits me up and he's like, hey, have you talked to so-and-so, or so-and-so reached out to you? And I'm like, I'm literally sitting in a chair, or I'm drinking, like, a glass of water. I'm like, nah, why? And I think the last time it was like, oh yeah, well, he was talking about he really wanted to know how you've been, and he kind of wanted to reach out to you, but he's afraid. And I'm like, last time I checked, I don't care. We're all grown ass adults. If he really wanted to reach out, like, I ain't
You would have
blocking
done
him.
it.
Yeah, I don't block him on any form. Like, phone's still active, my social medias are still active. Guess what? He blocked me. Let's not forget, he blocked me. So if he really wants to reach out, I mean, whatever, I got work, but yeah, hit me up. And if you really feel like hashing it out, do you want to hash it out maturely? Cool, we can do that. But again, I didn't have a dog in the fight, so I'm not mad. And that's what that was about. Like, I will say I'm fortunate enough that I have not encountered that very often. Like, if it does happen, it's happened maybe 3 times in my entire life. For the most part, even if I have a difference of opinion with somebody, we still tend to get along, and we can either talk it out or move on, or just know, okay, cool, well, we just don't agree with this, but we're still mature and we're still cool, so screw it, let's get a hot dog and move on. All right, bet. Done.
Hey, real quick, I got my friend Edwin.
Yes.
He usually comes. You guys will see him. He's in the chat. How do you say his name? He's gonna be coming into the chat. Okay, basically.
He's hopping in the chat. Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna hop in. So if you guys see it.
What did we say earlier? All friends are welcome.
Yes, I know. I just wanted to give you guys if a random person comes in, you're like, whoa, who's this? What's going on? No,
Who's this?
yeah. So he'll be jumping in soon.
No. Oh well, it's okay.
But yeah.
To answer your question, that's pretty much what it was. And again, I'm very fortunate that I have not run into that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, I have an important question to ask the chat. Whether the new person is there or not, I just wanted to ask this. This is on my list of things to ask. And Brandon kind of talked about it because he was talking about how his narratives were pushing certain people to respond. So the question is, what do you consider good storytelling? Whether it be for visual, written, audio, what types of aspects do you consider like good for a narrative?
Wow. That's a...
No, I'm asking because obviously Brandon had some things to say or some things to publish in his work that was causing people to
You're right.
respond or react.
So Brandon is probably the go-to to talk about.
Wait, what?
Pris, maybe you should ask the question.
Okay.
Nah, dude. Okay, don't do that. Cause see, plays it off, but he's the filmmaker in the family. Like,
Right.
No, but I mean,
direction and story. It's that dude.
I asked one question
I
and
just
it's
write
just
dumb
so
shit.
loaded.
And I
To
try
me-
to put dumb shit out in the comic, and I hope people will like it. And that's the extent of my story knowledge. No, I'm kidding. That's my thoughts on the story, but I kind of want to hear like Reggie's perspective first.
Okay, before we get started, Edwin is here.
Oh, I didn't want to interrupt. Hi.
Hi, Edwin.
Welcome to the round table.
Yeah, I was
Something name.
yeah, I was a little nervous with coming in, but you know, it seemed like you guys seems like a really cool talk, and I really liked the last one you guys did.
Oh, thank you.
Can you guys hear me fine?
Yeah.
Yeah, super nice.
Dude, we're all humans. Ain't none one of well, we're special, but ain't no one of us special. Like, anytime you want to say something or have a subject to talk about, man, feel free. None of us are gonna bite your head off.
Wait, can we get an intro from Edwin? Because I don't know who this person is.
Yeah, matter of fact,
Oh yeah.
Edwin, like you introduce yourself, your name, how you want to present yourself here. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I got you. Well, you can also call me Jesus or Edwin, whatever one you wish. It's a pretty funny story behind that, but
Yeah.
I'll save that for another day. Well, I met Reggie actually through work, and I remember the first time he came. Well, I guess what I like to do is well, I like to do music, but I recently got into 3D thanks to Reggie. But when I first met him, I remember he asked my brother if I don't know, like if I was into what was it, like anime or something? I forgot what it was, but then I remember he showed me your Instagram. I was like, yo, like this dude works here? Like no way. Like, this is absolutely like no way this dude works here. And you know, from there we just started talking, like, you know, about films and stuff, and like,
Yeah.
I don't know, became good friends, and I could 100% with complete confidence say if it was not for me meeting Reggie there, I would definitely not be trying to, I guess, I would not have became serious with music or just like anything creative at all. Like, I would basically, it would still be like I guess like I would consider it a hobby in my mind. I was simply just like I guess like a way, like a deception for me, because I never really, you know, thought it was something that I could do. But I'm telling you, Reggie has some crazy power. The energy that comes from this guy is insane. Like, when Reggie talks to me, like I feel like I could take on the world. Like this dude just, like I'm telling you,
Cause you can.
Like this guy can convince me to do anything.
It's crazy.
Oh my
Good guy,
gosh.
Reggie over here.
Oh man, no, but this fool is like, if you see his work and you see like how fast and how powerful he's like grown in 3D, his music is already dope. He does like a lot of like, what would you call it? Like, I want to say, what would you call it? I don't want to say it's just like fantasy or it's like film and
well,
very
Well, I guess you could. Well, I know it's definitely.
What are your biggest
Cat-based.
inspirations in music? That's the better question.
Yeah, the easiest thing with the most broad sense would be fantasy. Like, I love.
Like soundtracks.
Yeah, like anything fantasy. I would just like fantasy in general. Like, I love it. And like in terms of like, I guess like actual like composers stuff. Like, I absolutely love all of the music from Software. And you know, like obviously Final Fantasy is also another big inspiration.
Have you studied music professionally, or are you just doing it? Like you said, it was like a hobby at first, but are you studying it? Like, are you going to classes for it?
No.
No, that's okay. I'm just asking.
Yeah. No, yeah, I wanted to actually study professionally after high school. I was hoping to go to Berklee College of Music, but then that just, you know, life hit really hard, and unfortunately I haven't had a chance. And
but you're still working on it. You're still actively pursuing it. Good for you.
No, yeah, it wasn't, like I said, like after that I didn't really, I basically like gave up on it, like on that dream. And it was like I never actually did anything with music at all until Reggie basically rekindled that, and now it's like I really Reggie basically helped. I feel like I'm just gonna keep hyping up Reggie.
Don't,
it's kind of hard now.
cause you freak. No, I would just be. I just,
Turn this into a Rok-Mo hype zone.
For real, hype him up.
Yep, hype them up.
bro. It was just I just be seeing all this dopeness. I'm like, yo, like you do this, like sounds good. You need to freaking keep doing it. That's it. And then like
Go for it.
he's a story writer. He builds. He's a world builder. And so like I would talk to him about my stories, and he'd be like asking me questions. I'm like, oh shoot, like I need to go and check my work, like check because the way how his mind thinks about like building worlds and like just what that all takes, So and then he would run these D&D like campaigns and stuff like that. And I was like, yo, like he's serious about this. Like he really does this. He's out here. So like, yeah, like, I don't know. I just, anytime I see power, like I want to get connected with it. You know what I mean? Right. And that's how we roll, right? So
That's real.
I'm gonna say this, and it's not a knock. It really isn't. It has always been my observation. I don't think you take into account just how inspiring your enthusiasm towards other artists, regardless of any level, can be.
Yes.
It's like when you meet an artist of any kind and you get it in your heart or you feel in your gut that their stuff is just amazing, there is this literal childlike wonder that no other person I've ever met in life has been able to recreate. Like, I wish I had the level of enthusiasm that you do whenever you get excited about and talk about other artists that inspire you or people that you met. Like, not everybody can recreate that kind of energy, and I want you to bear that in mind. Like, man, that's a gift. That is a gift to be able to retain that kind of enthusiasm, no matter what age you are and no matter what you see, and to be able to pass that kind of energy on to another person. Man, that's a gift. That's a blessing. If I could steal it from you, I really would.
Oh my gosh. Sheesh, guys, I'm blushing over here.
No, but it's true. But it's true though, because it creates like this chain link effect of just you're reciprocating and creating good energy, and that's fueling what other people are inspired to do. So like, yeah, what Brandon is saying is not far from the truth. It's really good to do that because you're sharing and creating something that is rebirthing a spark in another person, basically.
And that's what I'm always telling them. Like, it's like you could tell, like, even if you have like your friends or families telling you like, oh, this is cool, like, I don't know, it doesn't feel the same way because most of the time they're biased. They're not going to tell you it's bad. No, even if it's bad, they're just not going to tell you. But like with Reggie, you could tell it's like I can't pronounce a lot of words, so I'm gonna probably butcher it. Genuine? I can't even say it. But yeah, and you could tell, I don't know, and it's like Reggie causes people to believe in themselves, and I think that's like literally one of the most powerful things anybody could do.
Wow.
Reggie, you, like I said, man, you really do got this gift, and that of that voice, it's just crazy.
Oh man, you guys, you make me cry on this. But man,
we can bring it back. Let's bring it back. Because
yeah, that works.
Okay, sorry, I forget. I'm very forget. Because you stepped in that when I asked the question, what makes a good narrative, or what do you consider good storytelling? And they just said that you write stories, that you do D&D things.
Yeah, it's basically I love world building. Basically been have like my own little world that I'm doing since I was a kid. Came into contact with it.
So, my question to the chat, and it's posing the question to you: do you consider good storytelling? Like, how do you craft that world? What goes into that world when you create it?
In terms of like, I guess what makes like a good story, at least for me, I feel is being able to point out, being able to actually see, what's the word in my head? It's not success, but like being able, what's the word?
Take your time. The words will come to you.
Yeah. I guess it's like being able to see growth in the character. You know, it's like, you know, we like seeing people succeed. You know, that's most of the time how we get attached to the characters, because you know the world could be, you know, some of the craziest, just immersive. It could be completely, you know, just something you've never seen before. But if the characters are boring, most of the times, who's gonna want to stay and watch it? I mean, you know, I don't want to say this, but like, you know, the last couple seasons of Game of Thrones, we could see what happened.
Okay, so like character development.
Yeah, like just, you know, showing that the characters are actually taking steps forward, seeing, you know, a clear, like this, I don't know, like seeing them actually climb steps, you know, seeing from where they started, and seeing, you know, that, you know, further out in the story, they're not the same person they were before. Like they doesn't have to be anything.
So like a transformation of some type.
Yeah, just basically, you know, I guess, I don't know, I always like, sometimes I have no idea what I'm saying, so I might be hard to follow.
No, I'm taking notes. You're talking, I'm taking notes.
Oh, okay. No, but all right, I'll try to just rewire my brain so I can make sense. But yeah, basically, at least when crafting a character, I think character is probably the most important part of a good story. And, you know, making them likable, making them human, you know, not keeping them to be perfect. Characters are really boring. It's the worst, because, you know, we know they don't exist. They don't exist in real life, so we can't get attached to them because they're not real. You know, and it's boring because there's no conflict, there's no growth. You don't see, you know, you don't really see them as human.
Okay, so then how do you perceive like an anti-hero type character? Because the anti-hero is purposely designed in such a way where they are not likable, or they have traits that make them not the hero, where their choices and their actions are working against the plot.
Now, yeah, so for anti-heroes, I think some of the best heroes in my mind would be ones that, even if you don't agree with them, you could see why they're doing it. And, you know, sometimes it's fun just to be evil for the sake of evil. You know, they're just...
This man chose chaos.
Yeah, but, you know, that usually doesn't work for more complex stories where it's like a lot deeper. You know, there's a lot, you know, more complex themes, you know. For, you know, kid stuff and just, you know, where you can turn off your brain, then yeah. But, you know, most of the times you know, don't want them to be one-sided. You want them to be evil, but with a reason. And just
because I recently watched Shutter Island, and that movie, I'm still thinking about that movie to this day. Like that, it is, but but like at the end of that film, you realize, oh my goodness, this man was being gaslit the entire film, and two, like this guy is the anti-hero. He is the and he doesn't even know it until the very, very end of it. Like that was just blew me away. And that's why I'm like, so what parts of this story did I like that makes it good storytelling? The fact that they took you on this journey to learn about what the characters' motives are, but then come the end of it, you're like, oh, they just flipped the whole script on me. Like literally, they built that whole story up just to tell me it was fake. Wow. Like,
yeah, and one thing I really like about it too is like those kind of movies where you could re-watch it now with that knowledge in mind and see like, oh, this makes sense. Like, oh, you could see like the pieces were already there. Like you know, like those, you know, I really like, I don't know, it adds like whole different layers, and it's just giving, I don't know, I guess the easiest way to just say is just to give things reasons. You know, give them a reason why they do this. Why is it like this? You know, because you know, you know, good stories are grounded in rules. You know, like you set aside some rules that cannot be broken, and you know, like the limit of reality. Or no, I know there's like academic terms for this, but I don't know any of them.
Your sign? That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just taking notes over here.
Oh yeah, so like you can tell when like rules, like when stories break the rules and it just completely takes you out. Like it takes you out the immersion, or it doesn't help you to see that the world or story are real when they're just constantly breaking rules. So like, for example, let's say this movie is establishing itself as like close to reality. So people, it's close to the physics of the actual world, blah blah blah. And then, like out of nowhere, people are just jumping 30 feet into the air with like absolutely no reason. It just completely takes you out.
So isn't this contradictory to like fantasy narratives then? Because they could, if you're looking into a fantasy story, you could do basically anything. Like
Not necessarily.
True,
You can set up some of those answers. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Oh, my, go ahead. I'll go after you.
No, I was just thinking in regards to fantasy, like it's all in how you, to me, like in that sense, how you would set up your world or set up your characters and world building and the things that you can use in that setting. Like magic, like if you can, even if you just faintly establish that certain things happen because of this or because of this property in this world, then the absurd and the inexplicable suddenly becomes, oh, okay, well that makes sense. Then, yeah, that kind of fits within this world. Like, oh yeah, there's magic. So yeah, someone might lose their mind and just randomly levitate up into the sky like it's 70 feet or something. Oh yeah, because this world is full of magic. And that's how I would see it. I mean, there's probably a different way to describe it, but I ain't that right.
no, that makes sense though, because that's tapping into like creating the rules of that world and how that world functions and the physics of that world. Okay, so that makes sense. Okay.
That's basically what I was gonna say. It's just just sticking to the reality of your world.
And what rules you create for that world are what allows things to happen in that world the way that you want them to, in the way that would, I guess, move an audience or a viewer. Like you said, like a good story is grounded in rules.
Yeah.
And if there comes to a reason that one of those rules needs to be broken, simply to make something, and you could break those rules too, but it's got to have a good reason for it, like a very good reason for it. And it's usually kind of hard to, because like if it doesn't make sense enough, it's sort of like just I guess like the best way would be to visualize it is like those rules are the pillars, the foundations. And if you're gonna break one, you're gonna have to replace it with another one that makes that's basically makes sense, or else the whole thing will just crumble down. And one other thing you should notice is I'm also bad with analogies.
In what way? What?
Yeah, I
You
don't even
trying to
know if
explain
that's
it?
the right word. No, just I'm not even sure if that's like the right word. 1 second.
You're fine.
Oh,
You're
no.
fine, Todd.
I'm sorry, bro.
The message was received. It's okay.
I overthink too much.
Nah, dude, that was excellent, Axel. You're good.
Yeah.
That's
Alright.
great. Thank you for contributing. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. It's nice to talk.
Yes.
Rok-Mo bringing in like all these excellent guests. Man, that's what this is about.
It's people. They're
I threw Rok-Mo back
humans.
up.
See, Rok-Mo, this is why we celebrate you, dude. This is why we
No,
celebrate you,
it's
man.
just people. Just like, man, come on. Oh man. Oh, go ahead. Whoever was gonna.
I was just gonna say no, but I'm actually really thankful that Reggie invited me to that Discord, because like, just like I don't know, like being around more people, that are into like I guess something creative. It's really opens your mind to a lot, like the amount of inspiration and just like I don't know, like hype just really helps too, because it's like one thing that I also like didn't really have a lot was like a lot of people around me aren't really into art or any of its other mediums.
Oh, dude,
So,
you need to change that. Change that immediately.
and that's why I'm like that's what's crazy. Like that's what I'm really glad. At first, I didn't want to join because I felt like I was like, oh, bro, like I can't. I'm not nowhere at these guys' level. There's no way I could just
What?
join.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, can you share it? Bro, share your screen. Share what you're working on right now. Plus, you're a human. we're all in the same powers, dog. Oh my gosh.
That was back then before you gave me some of your power. I feel now I feel a little bit more. It's more like confident that like okay I can get to that level. But yeah, it's been like a huge like difference. Just being in that group, seeing everybody work. It's just like damn, like it's like it inspires me. Like I gotta get there. I gotta reach that level too. I want to like make these kind of crazy arts everybody else is making too.
You can.
Yeah.
It's up to you how you want to share it. It's up to you. Don't feel pressured to bring yourself forward if you don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that this Discord group has helped me to feel is like, oh, I can. With the right amount of time and practice.
Dude, do you have like a SoundCloud up or something, or do you have like a Spotify where you post your music? Because I want to hear it.
I put it on SoundCloud. I'll be honest with you. I've been posting what I have for like the past 2 years. So some of them are, I'll be honest with you, are a little bad. But that was when I, barely picked it up.
Mm-hmm.
So the sounds are a little weird. But if there's one you gotta listen to, I think.
Put it in the chat. You can throw it into the Discord chat if you really want to, or you can just DM me. I'm very curious to hear what the fantasy.
I'll leave this. Reggie, which one do you think is the best one I got?
I don't know. I mean, like, I think you can like say if you show Pris at least like your Instagram, because that's some of the latest releases you have on there, and your 3D is on there. So like
that would be dope.
She could see like all of it at once, I guess. But or like hear it and stuff, and then if she wants to hear more, then yeah, I guess.
Alright, I'll put. Where did I put it in Discord?
You can put it in the Discord chat or.
Yeah, I think in the Hype Lounge one, I guess the regular text channel.
SoundCloud, and this is.
Nice.
I think.
Oh, right on. I see it. Okay.
I don't even know how to.
Jesus. We got him. We got him.
He got him. Yep.
But if you would have to listen, I would probably say The Journey of a Hero. Because one thing I also been struggling to do is like I have like a really good start, and then it'll just like I'll lose the touch like in the middle, and then I'll come back at the end, and I just like I never get back to it and like make the middle stronger. So if anything, just listen to the beginning.
The interesting thing about composers and musicians, I feel like you guys are able to hear and perceive sound in a very different way than everybody else. Like I have another homie who makes music as a hobby, and like he always shows me his productions that are just he's halfway done with it or something. Like, this sounds like it's done, bro. What else do you need? He's like, nah, I gotta work on the midsection right there. I'm like, it's done. and they're just so convinced that they have to keep tweaking it in a way that it sounds right to them. So I feel like people who make music perceive sound very differently than we might do. So it's a different craft, and I think I respect it because I never learned how to do it. I know how to play instruments, but I never composed anything. So big ups to everybody who makes music.
For real.
Well, thank you for sharing your page. I'm gonna go follow this right now.
Thank you. No, yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. Oh man, my music theory is horrible. I really gotta get back to learning it, but no, it's definitely been a lot of fun. It's just Like I always love listening to like I think like watching movies and stuff. Like I always been more like attracted towards like the music rather than the film itself. Ever since I was
Right.
young.
Right, because that sets the tone for everything that you hear.
Oh, it is
Right.
crazy. Like
Yes.
just the difference a song could do to a scene. Like
Yeah.
and like I think that's like what like attracted me into like wanting to make music. Just like how powerful like it's possible.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorite composers or any favorite soundtracks?
Ooh. By far my favorite is the soundtrack for Final Fantasy 15. I think that is I think it is the masterpiece of our time. Like it does not get the love that it deserves. It is by Yoko, right?
Yeah, Yoko something. I forget.
Shimomura, I think? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's like it is like I don't even want to say like the Beethoven of the time because like no, she in her own caliber. Like it is like gorgeous music, and like that's like the level that I strive to be.
What? Okay, so important question, and this not just for our mans right here, but for everybody in the room. Does something move you in a way when you listen to your favorite soundtrack? Do you get moved emotionally in some way? Does it strike something in you? Does it awaken something in you when you hear your favorite
Get
song?
awakened. Of course. Of course. For me, yeah, like
Yeah,
a
definitely.
lot,
Yeah.
you know.
So what are you looking for when you listen to specific soundtracks? Because I know Reggie be scrolling through his playlist all the time. He's like, "Now let me change this up. This is just different." He was saying it right on the screen.
Always. I don't know, man. Again, music is just such. It's like it says so much, you know. And man, I don't know even if I can put into words what music does. I don't even. It's so weird. It's like trying to talk about it is. Trying to talk about it is already difficult,
Have
you
you
know.
guys seen Baby Driver? It was
Yeah,
Baby Driver, I think.
yeah, of
It
course.
was like the story of the heist driver who had to listen to music in a
Right.
certain mood.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. That's basically.
Yeah, it's just like again, just like what, and it's really cool because my sister, she studied music, and she would kind of tell me about how like even the science of the vibrations and all this kind of stuff, like what it does to your mind, what it makes you feel, and you know, stuff like that. So like I don't know, I feel like let's just say it moves me. Different songs move me in certain ways, and a lot of times growing up listening to music, I could see scenes put together. I would put scenes from my own stories together, you know, scenes of, you know, it is a storytelling tool for me. Matter of fact, for even that freaking remember the Street Fighter one, like there were times where I was like, oh no, the song is directing what's gonna happen next. You know, I don't know if you guys remember, but I was like, okay, the song is doing this, so we're gonna, like, it's almost like I'm taking my hands off of it, and the song is gonna tell us where we're gonna go, or where the emotion, where we're gonna feel, you know, and I'm gonna come in underneath the song and place, you know, these characters in here to play along with the song, you know. And I think for me, I pray as I get to work on more projects and put on more stories, visual stories, whatever, that music is going to be a super huge part of production and of telling stories and stuff like that. So yeah. I mean, like, yeah, like matter of fact, if you guys go watch it again, just listen to the music and watch how everything goes towards the music, you know, or whatever. Or even when I cut the music, I bring it back, or, you know, it goes to this part in the song, like the scenes change, the momentum change, or whatever, you know. Yeah, stuff like that. So
Right. Yeah, I got you. I would say this for me, and I forgot to mention, Edwin, I used to make music too.
oh yeah, that's right.
Like a while ago, like I think around like I started maybe like man, favorite part, like even before, like when I was in middle school-ish, into high school, I used to make like a lot of music and stuff like that. And then till like college, like my computer just ended up, like, it just stopped and shut down. It wasn't working, so I lost all my music and all, like everything, all the stuff I was working on. I was like, all I have left is just maybe like a few like projects and stuff, and that's it. And I just recently got FL Studio again, and I'm thinking about like
Hey.
back into like you know what you were saying about arrangements. That's something I wanted to try to get into as well, because like because I like me, I used to listen to a lot of soundtracks when I used to make, you know, hip hop beats and stuff like that. And then I kind of went like another direction where I made like more original, like original music, you know, original like tracks, sort of like arrangements ish, I guess you can say. But it didn't really hit me till like maybe just recently, like maybe last year. I wanted to get more into it, and like, and you know, I do listen to other, like, you know, like I guess back then and now is like kind of different as far as like just appreciating, like listening to, like actually sitting down and listening to like every single part, because like my family's like musicians. Well, my mom is, like my mom, she, you know, she's a director for her choir. She used to play in a band with her, her brother, my uncle, and a friend of theirs, that they still know each other now. But and then my uncle, he used to be in the music industry for I think around like the 80s and stuff like that. So he's plays for a jazz band now. So that kind of rubbed up on me as far as like just listening to like jazz, gospel, early hip hop and stuff like that. And then now I'm like into like soundtracks, and then just like the whole like what Pridge was saying about like how does it make me feel. I guess I'm kind of like Reggie. It's just like different music kind of like it just moves me sometimes. Like I was just listening to I forgot the name of this song from the My Hero Academia soundtrack.
Uh-oh.
But like I just started listening to that like a lot, and that like it's like it makes me feel like inspired, you know, and just makes me like just feel strong and stuff like that. And you know, then from that to like maybe listen to something from like the original Blade Runner, like
Yo.
you know, soundtrack from Vangelis. I don't know how you say his name. Vangelis.
Evangelist. Yeah, Evangelist.
Yeah, and
Evangelist is sick.
when I heard about him back then, like when I was making beats, like I had to look into all of his music. You know, him, Tomita, I don't know his full name, but he's like also like an electronic like composer too. Japan. I'm trying to think who else. There's another dude back then I really liked, the dude that did the Tomb Raider Legend soundtrack. And
Legends.
listen to all those tracks, and I, you know, still listen to all this stuff now, and I'm just like, man, like I still love this stuff now, and it just it's just, you know, I guess just to end it all, like just to wrap it all up, just like different music just makes me like emotionally move in different ways. I can't really describe it honestly, but it's all I gotta say is it's really it's positive for me to
Yeah.
to listen to different types of music and stuff like that. So yeah, if you know, I want to listen to some of your stuff too. I might have to check out your SoundCloud after this.
No, I completely, yeah, I think music for me, the thing is, like, when I listen to music, or, well, depending on the activity I'm doing, like, if I'm writing, like, or world building, and I'm working on, like, a certain character or a certain, like, kingdom or something, I have, like, specific, like, music
Yes.
for that individual. So, like,
Yes.
let's say if I'm working as sort of like Alvin Kingdom or something, I'll play a lot of Zelda or Full Metal Alchemist, which, oh man, I forgot to mention how gorgeous that music is.
Jeez.
And it's because the music actually it's a great what's the word, it's good for memory. Like it absorbs memories. So like, and it'll come back up. It's like basically like a stimulus. So like, if it's music that you would listen to a lot with, doing like an activity you really enjoyed or with family, when you listen to that song again, it'll, subconsciously you'll see it again. That's why music has like a lot of like deeper meaning into it, and feelings, and that's also one of the things that I love about music is just being able to capture that.
That is good. I didn't even think about that thing about the memories like this, but it's so true. You're so right about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Jeez.
it really helps for writing, because then like things that you won't have to look back at notes a lot. You'll like it'll help you remember like, oh no, this, and
Yeah. I feel the same way. It's kind of like in the movie, the original Old Boy, when they play the classical music, it triggers like the memories of the past and
Right.
the relationships that he had when he was a kid. Like it's true. Music does fuel memory, and it does trigger stuff like that. So that's good to know. I'm taking notes while everyone's talking.
Gonna have a whole book, yo. Jeez.
Okay, got this whole chat going up.
I'm saying there's a lot of like good knowledge that everybody has here. And
I know.
so I just sit in I usually just look in the shadows and just absorb as much as I could.
Yeah, this is really good. Where's Brandon? Brandon, where his
Man's
about
fell
music. Like, where'd he go?
You can learn.
He was like, I'm writing those down too.
This ain't about me. This is about everybody else. Just dropping knowledge. Like, talking about music. I loved it.
What about you and
I
music?
don't really feel like I can have anything to offer in that regard because, like, for me, I don't know. Music is just, to me, it's just emotional. Like, I always feel something when I listen to a certain track, and if I'm really feeling it, I can listen to that sucker for hours on end. Like, I have no problem doing that because it just makes me feel a certain way, whether it makes me feel hype or whether I want to feel something about a particular story beat I'm trying to come up with, and I'm trying to find the right tune to express that emotion that I want, that I'm trying to write for a viewer or a reader or an audience member to feel. And I'm pretty sure anybody who creates story feels the same way. The deeper I get into what's driven for a character or what's driven for a story point, like, the music just helps me get lost in that person and that world. Sometimes probably to a detriment, but that's what it does for me. Like, music has always been that and an escape as well. Like, there's just too many different feelings and emotions tied to music. If I want to feel hype or whatever, I'll listen to like trap music. If I want to feel, there's always a go-to. If I want to feel sad about a particular story point, and it's actually off of the Trigun soundtrack. Tsuneo Imahori is an excellent composer.
You said which one? Trigun?
Yeah, Tsuneo Imahori.
Dang, I should go back and listen to
Drop
that.
the name in the chat.
To me, excellent composer. He did the music for Trigun and he did the music for Gungrave.
Okay.
Yeah, I just love that dude. But I think it's called. I haven't like listened to it in like the last 6 months, but like Heavy Rain or something like that. If I really want to feel sad about some shit and cry, like I will listen to that. Like, dang. But I'll put that in the chat, or just the name anyway. He's not hard to look up.
Dope.
Those are my thoughts about music, as I'm like playing hotel jazz that no one can hear.
Okay, now an adverse question. What happens in the absence of sound?
Oh.
Does that create a moment for people to think, or does it create paranoia? because there are two ways of going about that.
It was all quick. Who is that, you, Trey?
Oh, I think Rok-Mo kind of answered that with what he was talking about with Street Fighter. Like, there was a moment in the animatic when he just stopped the music, and
Yes.
it just made, like, for me as an audience, it was like, oh shit, this is a really heavy moment. Like, there's something to feel here. Whether that was a hit that was just like, oh, maybe you get the feeling that was harder than normal, or he like knocked his ass out or whatever. But the absence of sound or music, just to me, it emphasizes a point. It tells the audience member, hey, pay attention to this. This is important right here. This point right here has the potential, if it doesn't, to drive the rest of the story. Like, that's me.
Yeah. I mean, he basically he basically got it. But just to add upon that, it also helps. It's like a point of focus. Like it's also like basically really
Yes.
situational. It could be, paranoid. It just like depends on like the mood that was already set up. But you see it a lot like when I say like it's a point of focus when like a lot of like see that in scenes where it's just complete chaos, probably in the middle of like a huge war or battle. You hear all these noises and it's like really the music playing and it's just complete chaos, and then out of nowhere the music just cuts. And you always you usually will see in movies or films or whatever, you'll see like the character just in a state of focus, and it's like he said before, it's to basically tell the viewer, it's like, hey, you want to keep your attention on this. This is a very important plot point or detail. But it's, if used correctly, is extremely powerful in films or movies or anywhere where you can play music. It's definitely not something you want to use a lot. Something you want to use for only the very important moments.
Awesome.
I was gonna say towards, like, say for this, not thinking of like visual storytelling or whatever, but just music in general. So say you're driving in your car, and usually when we're driving in our cars, I think we're usually listening to music. I don't know, but I know that's usually like the first thing. Okay, cool. Like, how do I want to feel? I'm going to turn on this playlist, or I'm going to listen to this album, or I'm going to listen to random, whatever, I find myself though too, because I, love music and I love finding new music. I love, because I always feel like there's so much music out there. I don't want to miss any good music or whatever. So I'm always on the, discover this and listen to this, hear that, or whatever. But there are times when I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm not going to have any music on and I'm just going to drive so I can like hear myself, or like if I'm praying to God, so I think there's a beauty in listening to music and then turning it off and just hearing your environment around you, like realizing like, oh wait, like I'm existing right now, like in this room, or like I'll like just sit downstairs, or I'll just go outside and just without music and just like be there, hear the birds, hear other people laughing out of their houses and all this kind of stuff. And there's like such a beauty to that. It's like, oh, I'm existing right now, and I'm fine, or like, it's okay to exist, instead of always going to something that's gonna boost an emotional high or an emotion to where a place I want to feel. Not that there's nothing wrong, I do it all the time. Like, I'm gonna walk and listen to this freaking song and get myself ready for this scene or drawing this, or I want to take myself into this fantasy world. But then also too, I'm like, oh, let me try and just be on default, like, and just hear, like, be in existence,
like taking a break is how taking a break is essential, quintessential to resetting the mind. Yeah.
And then give myself a chance to hear myself, hear my own voice, even even more, you know, talk to myself about certain things or whatever and
Right?
meditate.
Have you guys ever written a story or started writing a comic or a narrative, and then you're like, let me hear how this sounds in my voice? Do you guys do that? Or is it just me? Because I feel like I do that a lot. I'll reread my entries before I publish it because I want to know, does this sound authentically like me? Because
That's good.
I tend to do that a lot. And I'm not sure if everyone else does that or what other people do to find their voice in their writing or in their work. So
I probably should do that more. To say that, because my writing is all over the place. But yeah, I'm taking that tip. I'm gonna do that.
well, because I think it's good to, like you said, you're hearing yourself and you're hearing your voice and how it's being delivered. Like then you really think about, oh, okay, this is a story that I'm gonna tell through my comic or through my campaign or through my art or whatever, and like, does this reflect who I'm trying to be, or what type of energy I'm trying to emulate, or what I think it's important to be able to hear yourself too.
That's good.
Yeah, I think a lot, like at least like in writing, like you know, like a novel or anything with, you know, you're reading. I think it does help a lot to reread it just to see if it, like, you know, if the sentences you know, they're smooth, you know, because it's a difference from writing and looking at it. When you read it, you know, at least I would do it out loud just to see, you know, if they sound smoothly, if the sentences don't like just completely stop. Because I think like subconscious, like when you read it in your mind, you miss a lot of those I don't know, like those cuts. I'm not too sure if I'm saying it correctly.
Like a nuance, like the little nuances, I think.
Yeah, and it's just, you know, and it's just, you know, because it's like just reading it to see if it sounds smooth. And you know, I think that's also like very important in writing, just for like to sense it, well, the paragraphs to read off smoothly. I think that's how I got for this.
I'm taking notes. Don't worry. I'm asking these questions because I'm actually taking notes for myself. I'm working on another entry soon. Then those were like the pivotal points that I wanted to make before starting.
Dope.
Yep. I'm trying to think of if I have any other questions. I can't take the floor right now.
I'm trying to think. You had asked the question, the very first question about visual storytelling. I forgot what it was that you had.
Yeah. My question was just about what do you consider for good storytelling? And so, like, if it's a visual story, like, how do you build the world that it's in, or what type of narrative are you going for? I think that's what I was going for the first question.
Because I wanted to say something, but I was like, oh man, I feel like that is like a huge type of question. And I guess it's like based on like whatever, I don't know. I think the whole thing and kind of like talking to Jesus about this too, like just knowing, I guess, you know, finding out what you want to say with whatever this story is, like what, again, like the theme, like if you could, and I don't know, I kind of don't like putting rules on things, like you have to have a theme that's like, you know, this one small sentence of, you know, 5 words of what you're trying to say and on. Like I don't like want to put like a rule in that, but like overall it's just like I think having a like what I would say the heart, or just like a foundation of what am I trying to say with this story, you know. Like for me, like for most of my stories, it's like I want to give hope to people. So there's always like this, there's hope out of the darkness type of thing, you know, and everything is like kind of spewing from that. So you know, from how I'm setting up the story, how I'm setting up characters, how I'm trying to build this, like say for instance for the daughter story, like the main thing is or the little sentence or whatever is like, even after the world ends, there's hope, you know. And it's kind of like, just like, even after you think everything is over and it sucks and it's dead, there's still hope for a better future, a better tomorrow. There's hope, you know. And so like all throughout that story, there's all these different like pieces that resemble that, whether that is somebody losing all their family, where all they loved was their, you know, all they knew was family, and now they have to have hope in, like, I don't know, a new family or something. I don't know, but there's all, it's the same kind of thing. It's just painted differently, but it's like I'm still saying the same thing, you know. It's just, okay, we're gonna paint with green, you know, we're gonna paint with red, you know, and not literally like just colors, but like, you know, how that is visually said, how it's like, you know, not visually, but I mean, not just that it has to be with visuals, but each character, kind of like the struggles that they're going through, you know, the, you know, blah, 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 you know, whatever. So yeah, just each story, like kind of finding that, the heart of it. What is the heart of what I'm trying to say? You know, asking yourself, what am I, if I could say like one thing, what would that be? You know? And then building up from that, or creating around that thing, you know. I think that's usually how I'm always thinking, when even in artwork too, or whatever, is like building from, like, what am I trying to say, figure out, and just trying to figure out what you're trying to say is like a thing in itself, you know. But yeah, I think then building from that, however you want to do is the fun part, you know. But it's like an anchor for you, you know, an anchor to build off of. So yeah.
Nice. I like that.
Just to add on to what Reggie was saying, or basically, I think we already know what makes like we ourselves like already know what makes something good. Like usually, you know, what I like to do is like I'll look at like all the things I do like, you know, like my favorite characters, my favorite stories. Oh, good night, man. So basically, you know, like if you're writing a character, or if I'm writing a character, I guess look for characters I already know, that I guess are basically inspired, or something that I'm going similar, and I'll look to them and I'll ask myself, why do I like them? You know, like what brings me to getting attached to this character? What qualities or what parts of their personality, you know, do it for me? Then just like, I guess, just, you know, answering those questions, a lot of times you basically find your answer, you know. Like, for a lot of times, like, at least for me, this is completely opinion. Well, basically a lot of things are, at least for me, like, you know, characters and stuff, it's like, I like worlds that are grounded in you know, don't break off from the rules. I like characters that are like real people that, you know, have reasons for what they do. And usually a lot of times what I'll look at is like at least for like for characters too, I'll think of like, I guess, what is their biggest goal, or like what's the one thing they desire the most, that they are willing to let everything out, like that one thing that they're willing to let go of everything else for. Because, you know, most of the time, you know, obviously like people are a little more complicated than that, but it's like a good starting point. Because, you know, we all have, you know, something or one thing that we really want. You know, be it if, you know, like making, you know, a movie or something, or just, you know, it could be, you know, something simple or something extremely ambitious. There's at least one thing we really want, and a lot of times, our personalities are sort of like revolve around that goal.
Oh.
Because you
wow.
know, like if you like for example, for one of the characters, I think I mentioned this before in the Discord, but one of the characters basically to put her goal simply is she wants to see the world become a better place, and you know that's the heart of her goal. So in order to achieve that goal, she wants to be, you know, she has to first be a good person herself. She'll do good things, blah blah blah. Um, and that opens up conflict. What happens when she has to stray away from being a good person in order to achieve that goal? You know, like what is she willing to do in order to reach that goal? Because in reality, you know, a lot of the times, you know, the road to our goal is just straight line. It's crooked.
It's backwards.
It's a whole other things, you know. And you know, I think a lot of times it really, like, I guess the what's the word, the journey to our goal really shows the character's personality, and it's the conflict. It's like basically the conflict that comes from that, and you know, seeing how they meet those conflicts.
How they approach it.
Like how the approaches that I like to see, you know, if it makes, you know, if obviously they gotta basically stick to damn, I lost my train of thought.
You're good. Keep going. Keep going. I'm taking notes.
Yeah, I'll just like say something around it. So basically, so like okay, let's just go back to that character. So she wants to be a good, she wants the world to be a better place, but be full of peace. All right, she goes on to, you know, finding out how she could do this. So she goes on a journey, blah blah blah. She tries, you know, being a good person, helping whoever she can, but eventually she comes across people who, well, you know, some people just don't, you know, really care for that, and you know, it's how she, you know, sometimes she has no choice but to take the less peaceful approach, simply, you know, either to protect herself or people she loves, and then turns out that, you know, sometimes some people are just simply okay, now I completely went in another direction. I gotta take my mind to what I want to say. All right, let me just give me like 1 second to
You're
rewire
good.
my brain.
You're good.
So the original question was, all right, so basically I was saying what I like about a character, right? So, yeah, so they got a goal set in mind, the biggest goal. You usually establish, you know, the most desired goal, and you know, usually a lot of times, like I said, our personalities do revolve around that. And
That is
usually,
very
like, the
interesting.
level
I've never
of our
heard that
ambition.
before. I've honestly never heard that before. I had to write that one down. Personality revolves around the goal or the greatest desire that you have in this world. Like that was a lot. That in itself. It's like, oh my God, it's true. And it does decipher what type of decisions that we're making, or that the character that we're making the character do. Like
Yeah,
that was just blew my mind right now.
Yeah, that's usually like at least when I like to write characters, that's like my starting point. You know, I'll think of what is their most desired goal, and then I will think of what are they willing to do to get there. You know, if it's somebody, you know, they're willing to kill for it, then, you know, then you could start branching to that side. Like, are they evil, or are they simply, you know, for, you know, what kind of person are they? You know, it becomes like a tree. You know, and it's usually just like a matter of asking questions like, are they willing to do this for it? Why not? Or why? And then, but yeah, usually, and then like how I like to write, you know, make a character, because you see that a lot. At least, you know, you can see that. I mean, just in anime, like we'll bring up what's that one? My Hero Academia, like Deku. not caught.
I've been sleeping on that, so I don't know what that show's about.
You gotta watch that show. Oh my god.
Yo, here comes everybody getting mad because I'm not watching anime.
It's
hilarious.
I have honestly learned a lot from anime. Like they have like the thing about anime is they just like they don't like they just want to make like the craziest stories ever. That's like the one thing I like about it. Like they don't really care about.
Yeah, they do. I do enjoy watching anime, but and the other guys in the chat knows this. I'm way slept on it. Like I just don't invest the time because I'm doing other things. I'm better off watching like if there's a one-time movie or if there's like cinema that can tell a story and then I can walk away from it. I'm good with that. But like it's hard for me to follow series for that very reason. It's like my attention span is just like all over the place.
There are a lot of well, I'm guessing you haven't seen One Piece then.
I'm not bagging on it.
No.
I'm just saying like if I had more time, like if I made more time. Everybody has time. It's just how you decide how to use that time.
Right.
If I made more time for it, like I think that would probably spark my interest again. But just within the past week, I was watching like 90s golden era anime. Brand knows this. He got super hyped when he found out I was watching like the Fatal Fury.
I got
movies.
super hyped.
I was like, dude. Yeah, right? Because it's like, even though I already know what's going to happen, I'm watching it because I want to see how they are creating that world, what the characters look like, what they're doing in that world, and like how is this making the story progress. And like that's part of what is inspiring me to ask these questions to you guys, because I know everybody in here is a closeted maybe not closeted creative, but everyone has their own talents and skills that they can contribute, and like you're giving a lot right now. So don't worry if you drop the ball. Like somebody in here, aka me, is taking notes.
Not yet. It's just I even do this with Reggie a lot. I'll just like completely just cut myself off. And I'll be like, all right, Reggie, I gotta run it back. I forgot where I was going.
Run it back. Let's go. Let's go.
Run this set back.
Yeah, like well, I guess like basically to generalize everything I'm trying to say is give everything a reason. Obviously you don't have to like point out like, okay, why are those pebbles there? But just for like the major things, like why does it exist? Because that grounds things, and that makes it easier for people to attach to it. To get attached to it because it feels real. Even if it's like in Harry Potter they have rules, or even though they're flying on brooms. I probably shouldn't call Harry Potter because I have not seen anything of it.
Oh.
But like you can have fantastical elements as long as they're consistent.
Okay, consistency. I like that.
Yeah, consistency is basically what the rules are. It's just a set of consistency, because it really will break the immersion out of you if you just all of a sudden people are just like like let's say the story like let's say I can't think of a show for some reason, but just like like an everyday all right, The Office, let's just say it's The Office, but and then out of nowhere they're just flying and breaking, just like they out of nowhere they're just using magic, like magic is now a thing. Well, a reason to it just like completely throws you off. And but yeah, basically consistency. But where was I before that? Oh yeah, the characters. But yeah, like I said, it's just giving them reasons, grounds them, and helps you get attached to them, because you see, knowing why they do things shows us basically like it's almost like becoming I don't want to say like friends, because that's sort of like
but you're tapping in because you're tapping
you're
tapping into the character. Yeah, basically. I understand that part. Yes.
Yeah, and we're learning more about them, and just like with people, that when they confide, like some deeper emotions and stuff, if you're usually normal people, you become a little more closer, because you now know things and that Like deeper sides of them. And that's the same thing with characters. As you learn more and more of who they are and why they do things, you become attached. And you don't want to see that character kill dogs.
No, I guess because that's really interesting that you're bringing that up, because like that's why when I watched Shutter Island, that really messed me up, because I rooted for the character. I rooted for that guy. I was like, oh no, I want to know that this is the good guy. But then it turns out he is probably the most evil person at that facility. Like that blew me away. I was like, why did they spin it around like that? Why did they do this to this poor man? Like, you build up a character to make it seem like he is the hero, and then come time for the conclusion, you realize, oh God, this guy has done some heinous shit in the past. Like, this is wild as fuck. Like,
and that's what makes it such an incredible twist at the end. Like, those are my favorite twists. When it's just like
that is good story. That is good storytelling. But man, I was very upset at the end of that movie. I was like, oh my God, like, broke my heart.
For you to feel like that means the writers.
That means it worked really well. Exactly. Like, they did great. I gotta rewatch that film.
Please do. Like, I mean, it's a long one, but it is so worth the time to have to rewatch it. It was like, I felt like they were doing similar to Memento, where the character doesn't really remember his past. He knows bits and pieces, but he's been through so much trauma that it's like warped.
Right.
Like, trauma really does that to people, though. Like, in reality, like, if we take away the fantasy element, the fact that it's in a movie, trauma really warps people's mind like that, where they have no concept or no perception of time, because they went through something so tragic that just like really messes that up. That's crazy. That's like that's not movie magic. That's psychology.
Right.
Yeah, I'm trying to, low-key, I'm trying to find more movies like that, because I want to see how they get into the character's head and what the character is doing, thinking, and feeling like that. I want to know, like you said, like, you find out what motivates the character to do things in a certain way. It's not because I want them to be violent, or it's not because I want to root for the antagonist or whatever. It's more like, I want to see how they got there.
Right, and that goes back to my other point where I said it's the proof of progression, you know? Seeing like them take steps forward, we're getting closer to their goal, which is, his goal is, finding out what happened to his wife, right? It's been a while.
Well,
and the things
I want to spoil it for people, but...
I was in, probably should, but, it's like, but yeah, like, and as we watch the movie, we learn more and more about him, why he's here, why he's doing this.
Right.
Why is he willing, to put himself in harm's way. We learn, the reason why, and then we learn the true reason. It's because then it completely just like destroys your,
Well,
yeah, it's a great movie. I actually was sleeping on it for a long time.
Yo, watch that again.
It was that good.
Watch that
I need to watch it again.
And then let's do this.
And then he said,
again.
"Let's
We're
do this
talk about that
all."
movie.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just playing. No, it was good. I wanted to see that when I was curious about it when it came out.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, it was the same. Like, I feel like Leo did two big films back to back. It was Shutter Island and Inception. And then if you
right.
Inception after Shutter Island?
I feel like they came. I'm pretty sure they were released in the same year.
Yeah.
Because that was Inception was a Nolan movie, and I know that was right after The Dark Knight. I feel like Inception might have been 09 or 010, or I can say.
Yeah, I think it was 2010.
Yeah,
and then I think Shutter Island was like 2012.
Was it that?
Nah, dude.
It came out before Dark Knight Rises.
So it was probably they probably did Inception Inception first. Like they published Inception first, and then I feel like Shutter Island came out in the fall. Like I had to look this up because I was like, wait, I feel like Leo did the exact same thing in like he's chasing his wife in another movie.
Yeah,
and then
Shutter
they came out in
Island.
the same year. I was like, why is this man chasing his wife in every damn movie?
It was
But anyway.
2010
But
as well.
anyway.
So
I
Shutter
know it.
Island
Rok-Mo
released
with the
2010.
Nolan knowledge.
Not well, I mean, I think like Chris, I think you're right. Cuz I remember I think Inception of course was it had to be like June 2010. And then Shutter I think was fall. I think it came out in the fall or something like that. Let me just check real quick Inception, but I think Inception was 2010.
Two amazing
Yeah.
films just back to back. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, cuz I
But
think
yeah,
I
I
was
slept on that movie though. Like I slept on that movie for a whole decade before I saw it.
right.
Shutter Island. I didn't see Shutter Island until like 2 weeks ago for real. Like that was my first time watching it. I was like, oh my god, why have I slept on this movie? Crazy.
Don't
Right.
feel bad. I have Inception in my library, like my actual physical Blu-ray library. I've only seen it once.
Oh my god.
Bro,
Once.
why?
I don't know. Don't ask me things I
guy.
don't have the answer to. I need to see it again. Like I've seen other Nolan movies multiple times, but for some reason I was like, all right, cool. Inception blew my
That's
mind.
probably my favorite
All
one.
right, I'm out.
That's my favorite one. Like I feel like a lot of the visuals from that movie was derived and inspired by like Paprika. Like I remember seeing them do like a side-by-side comparison with the scenes, like the dream sequences. I'm like, dude, what? No fucking way. Like it was really good. Yeah, it's really good. No, I guess I'm asking all of these questions because I actively, for those who don't know, I think some of the guys in the chat already know this. For those who don't know, I am an active blogger. And I've been approached a handful of times by other people who ask me questions like, oh, do you want to write a story for this project? And I'm like, I don't know if I can do that. Like, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. Like, I do very specific, I do very specific narratives that are based on my own perceptions of reality or my own perceptions of what the dream world is like or whatever. Like it's not like I intentionally set out to write fantasy stuff or I don't intentionally write fictional stuff. Everything that I publish on my blog account is like, it's from me. That's my heart right there. That's my heart and soul on the page. So it's very striking to me when people approach me with those questions like, oh, do you want to write a story for us? Like, oh my God, you want me to put myself on the plate on the platter like that? No. Hold up. Backpedal. Stop. I can't.
Alternatively, I mean, that also means that your work or your writing is so striking that it interests people. Like, that's how I felt. Like, when I read your stuff, I'm like, yo, Party P, for all intents and purposes, you're a good storyteller.
But
So
I don't. But that's the thing. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just, for me, so when I build an entry, my first thing is, what is the conflict? And then I ask questions around that conflict, and then in my writing, I'm working out how I'm approaching it and how I'm resolving that conflict, whether it means I'm changing myself for that situation or changing the things around me for that. But I don't actively know that I'm doing these things.
I'm going to challenge you and disagree because everything you just described tells me you have a method about coming up with a
I don't
story.
know.
However slapdash you might feel it might be, or however disjointed you might feel it is, it's still a method that works for you that allows you to flesh out what kind of story you want to tell and how you want to get there. So, coming from your boy, I'm just saying, it sounds like you know what you're doing.
I do and I don't. It's like I do know, but I don't know.
It's not like anyone's expecting you to produce it on a professional level. Yeah, like doing it casually, doing it habitually for you is probably different from a professional writer or person's method or mindset. But for you and the space that you exist in and the way that you're trying to tell this story, like, don't sell yourself short. You know what the hell you're doing. Your stories would not be as engaging or as striking, in my opinion, if you had no clue what the hell you were doing.
I'm saying I do know what I'm writing because it's for therapeutic purposes. But when other people read it, I have no idea how it's being received. I really don't. That's why I'm like very skeptical about sharing because I'm like, I have no idea who my target audience is. I don't really have a target audience. It's more like this is for my sanity right here. Like this body of work is for my sanity. And if people enjoy it and they relate to it, that's cool. I have like a big respect for them for taking that time to observe themselves in such a way. But also I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing that is making you want to go back for this or making you want to ask for more or whatever. So that's why I was asking questions like that early tonight. And I'm kind of surprised that Dustin is not here because he's one of the people who approached me with that question. He asked me if I wanted to collab.
Oh, it's dope. That he would be on later. That he's just like killing his time on Destiny. So
yeah, I think he's playing.
He'll show up sooner or later, and I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
All right. Dude is sleeping. Dude is sleeping on this call right now. We got so much.
Get in here, and we're all gonna be all like clocked out and like, yo, what's up, guys? Man, you've been talking for 2 hours. How are you? I'm tired. I want some ice cream. I want to go to bed.
Right. Dang, Pris, I don't think I've ever read any of your work. I didn't know you had a blog. Now I gotta go there.
I'm very low key about it because it's been there. You know, Brand knows this because I've had multiple conversations with him about it. I've been writing since, I guess I've been intentionally writing since 2008.
All right.
Like when I started taking my craft a little bit more seriously as a writer, but like I've been blogging since I was 12, probably.
Golly.
So a lot of the writing that I do is very observational. It's a lot of like, oh, how did I approach this situation today, or how am I coping with this type of stress or anxiety, and what am I doing to improve myself from that? Like it's more of like getting into the character's head and understanding what movements or what actions that they're taking to alleviate themselves or whatever. Like I feel like a lot of my blog revolves around that. If not, like I do a lot of dream interpretation there. I'll send you a link to it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be brave
please.
and I'm gonna share my link.
No, yes.
My blog.
Be brave. Show your power. Show me your power. No,
show your power.
Yeah, why not?
Because I just published one earlier in the week, and it was about me being in the dream space and how I'm dealing with a character that I don't like in that realm. And I'm like, well, you're not welcome here, and this is how my dream self is acting upon that. Like it's more like an analysis of the self. I don't know what that does. I honestly don't know what that does for people, but supposedly the people who do read it enjoy it. So
right.
There you go.
Okay, dope. I'm gonna start checking this out. And then like kind of like with what Brandon was saying too, and I think we all have these kind of conversations with ourselves where like so from what I'm hearing, you're good at this, right? You're good at it. Like
I don't know.
I mean from you're inside of yourself, you know. But and again, I mean, however you feel about it is however you feel. But from what I'm hearing is that, you know, it's something that you enjoy. It's something also too that is like a need for your sanity, like you said. But it sounds like too, like that if other people are reading it and they're getting something out of it, that like you're good at it. And I don't want to say genuinely good or talented. Like sometimes I don't like seeing. You be the judge of that.
When you read it, you let me know what you think, and then we can have that conversation.
I'll read it and stuff like that. But
it's dope.
Back to what Brandon was saying is that you're like I just want to say like, dude, if people are enjoying this and it's good, like how do I say this? Like you're probably really good at it, and you may not need all the formatting as another writer, as another director, as another person. You might already intentionally have great setups already, like what Brandon was saying. Like the way your brain has already started to put things together and, you know, conflict. Like to me, like, yeah, it sounds like I just heard what you said sound like something I would read in a book, like about writing films or writing, scripts and stuff like that. Like whatever you just said in those 5 minutes, I was like, whoa, hold on. Maybe I need to write some notes. Hold on. Let me get a piece of paper. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you're like, I don't know how I'm trying to say this, but like, you already have the power. Like, you know what I mean? You already have the ability, and
I get that, and I just never chose to monetize it because I think it's too precious. I really think like that's because really the blog is just like my most vulnerable parts of myself, and like, I think like last year I was doing a couple of live readings over Instagram. That was weird,
interesting,
and scary. Yeah, I think Brandon was in for one of those or a couple of those, like where I was just reading entries from the blog, and like people were resonating with it. They were like, "Oh, this is good. Like this is calming, and it's affirming for certain things and certain beliefs about other people." I'm like, I didn't know that. Like I don't know these things because mostly I'm doing it for me, but like I'm skeptical about sharing it because I have no idea if it makes sense. Like this is why I would say earlier, like you have to read it to yourself.
I think I get where you're coming from, where this is for you, and if people enjoy it, then it's more of that's an added bonus, but you weren't trying to, like we were talking about earlier, you weren't trying to gain fame or clout off of your readings or any kind of like notoriety. I get that. That makes sense. But I'm just speaking with me, and I think your stuff really does resonate. If someone came up to you and said, "Hey, would you like to do a story? Would you like to read?" Like, I totally get it. Like,
I feel like if people want to ask me that question, they should just base stories off of the stuff I've already written. Like y'all could just take excerpts from what I've already written and then credit me somewhere there because I don't. These pieces. You
don't want to go through like the added pressure of trying to create something new for something.
No, because it's like what I'm publishing. It's kind of like a one-off type of thing. Like I'm in that realm or in that zone for that entry, and that's it. Like I will rarely go back to it and say, "Oh yeah, I did do that piece," or "I did write that." Like it's not like it's a continuous story, but I feel like each entry has a reason. Earlier, when Jesus was talking about having reasons, each entry is written for its own reason. Like by the end of that entry or by the end of that story, you already know why I wrote that story.
Right.
You already understand why I need to make that a narrative. Like, I think that's what it is. For me, that's what it is.
Okay.
Okay. Also, too. So. All right, let me now be Pris. Let me be all super tough. Let me get you a tough question. Let me get you a good old. No, so are you thinking of possibly utilizing this skill to help somebody in their story or help somebody in you know what I mean? Are you?
Yeah, when I write the entry and I think that it may help someone, I will send them the entry that I've published, and I'll tell them, "Oh, hey, I wrote this entry. I thought you may want to read about this because we were discussing this, or this is a topic that we may have touched on before. I think it would really resonate with you." Like I think I've sent Bran a couple of mine before, and I sent Kendall some too, because it's
dang, why you didn't send me any?
Bro, you already leveled up.
I'm like, I want to read some cool things. No, Pris, though, Pris, you do. We have little conversations here and there, and like, you've been like very helpful. So, never mind.
Please don't be offended if I haven't sent you anything. But it's like, I feel like you and me, Rock, we haven't had enough conversations to get into that depth of mind yet, or at least. And nothing strikes me as like, oh, Rock has to read this. I don't know. I think maybe if you did read my blog, maybe that would change. I have no idea.
Okay,
like
well,
I said, I don't know who my target audience is. I
Yeah.
don't know who these entries are going to resonate with, but I will share them when I think the person I'm talking to
needs it.
would gain some insight or benefit from it. Yes,
feel you.
I'm not doing it intentionally. It's more like these are logged. I guess what's put in the blog is just like, okay, these are moments in time where I was feeling some type of way and I needed to let that part of me breathe. Let me go back and look at that, and maybe someone else can benefit from this interpretation. So it's a lot of that. I used to share my blog more frequently, but I don't know. I got a lot of negative feedback about it, so it's like, oh, I don't want to have to reveal my baby like that. You know, like I said, like this is a vulnerable part of self. Like, why would you expose that part only for people to be bagging on it? Like, it's very difficult. For me as a writer.
Feedback. What? No.
I don't have to, but I'm just saying it's I don't. Way to put me on a spotlight. I don't know. I don't know who is into it. I really don't. Like when I share pieces of it, I feel like people who are reading that are getting to hear that part of my voice for the first time. Does that make sense? Like because this is like the most vulnerable, most intellectual side of me is that goes on my blog. I don't know that everybody gets to hear that, or if they're used to that, because they have different perceptions of me or whatever. And it's just like, do I want to let everybody know I'm a weird intellectual like that? I don't know. I'm gonna keep it low key for that reason. Like, I'm keep it low key because not everybody can have access to that. Not everybody should have access to that. That's how I feel about it. And I think that's part of the reason why I haven't taken my work further than I've already done with it. Like, that's why I use it for my own personal purposes as opposed to being published or whatever. Like, I don't know how to publish it. I don't know if it should be published or how to even direct that. So I just don't. I don't, for the reason that it gives me anxiety.
Right. We got you. Dang, I thought I had something else to ask you, but I want to read this now. I want to read your powers. So,
wow, that's a lot.
Looking forward to hearing and reading this, and I think it's really cool to, where am I going with this? There's two things, because I was thinking about last time when we had when we were doing this, I was just like, dang, like Pris, like you bring such a balance to all these conversations. Like how you were like, how would you say it? You were moderating like us here, you know what I mean? And it was like, oh, so super dope, you know? And yeah, I know. That's why I was like, I was like,
no,
dude,
man, I just came in with questions that I wanted to have answers to, and I'm like, all right, cool. Like, here we go. Let's take notes.
It was great. Like,
yeah,
you took charge, and you started it off with something that everybody could engage in and felt comfortable, like, talking about. Oh, okay, cool. Well, like, first of all, oh yeah, we've all been through burnout. It's been different for us. Like, how do we respond to it? How do we go through it respectively and differently? Like, you guided that. Like, that was great.
I didn't do nothing. I just asked
like
questions.
You should become a panel leader in the future. Like,
wow, what? I don't even know how that.
People.
I don't even know how that worked. But
hey,
okay.
Sucker, answer this.
It's like you enter a space and you have questions about the things that you don't understand, and that's what helps you find what you're looking for. You know, sometimes people, when they pursue higher education or they go to college, they don't know what they're majoring in or what they want to do. You ask those type of questions. You ask questions that will help guide you to those answers. Like, oh, okay, if I pursue this, will it give me A, B, or C? Or what, you know, like you guys were talking about earlier, like, oh, what type of end goal are we getting with this? Or with the character that we're building? Where are they going, and what do they want at the end of this?
right.
So I feel like that's what I just wrote a couple of questions down for this chat tonight. And I was like, I want to ask these questions because I feel like everyone has something that they may want to say about it or contribute to. And you guys have been amazing. So thank you.
Yay.
Yay.
Yay, hooray.
Level 100 moderating right there, P.
I don't
gotta
Yeah,
admit.
basically.
How is that even moderating? I'm just asking a question. So
Like, exactly. Like,
It's giving this whole
here's
thing
the thing,
form.
you set the tone for the entire roundtable. Like, you set the tone, and then you also allow everybody to give everybody a chance to speak their mind and speak their perspective.
yo, is Dustin here? Sorry.
Yo, finally.
Oh my
Sorry.
god.
I'm checking
He
the
was
chat.
here for like a cool
Nah,
minute, I
dude,
think.
Great. Yo.
Because I'm more interested than what Brandon has to say. So
Oh, let's go. Let's go,
What?
man.
Nah, I was just typing up Priz. Like, I was just explaining the Priz is an
Please
actual
don't,
moderator.
though. Please don't. Please don't.
Like, she guided the entire roundtable tonight. It was something to behold.
Damn, Dustin, did you just now enter the chat? Like, I feel like we're like winding down and you're just now joining us. Like,
can you hear me right now?
yes.
Yes.
Okay. I came in maybe 10 to 15 minutes ago, something like that.
Oh my God, this man's just lurking. This.
Dang.
No, you were talking, and I spoke up, but no one said anything, so I wasn't sure if like my mic was on or not. I didn't want to interrupt because you sounded
Well,
like.
that's when you say, Brandon, shut the hell up. I got something to say.
Dude, just feel free. Feel free to interject and say, "Oh yeah, hey, like Dustin's up in here. We in here, bro." You're always welcome because I feel like it's just an open forum, open discussion. So you're welcome to say whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Wait.
And
So
he
Dustin,
disappears.
were you part of? Was Dustin part of that discussion then? Like 15 minutes ago, were we talking about narratives at that point? Because I feel like he needed to hear that.
I heard you talking about how you didn't, how basically your writing is your special happy place that you don't want to share with everybody.
No, every aspect of my art is like that though. Like I don't know if you guys noticed that theme with me. Like I love
Yeah.
the art that I do and that I'm able to produce, but like I can't, unfortunately, I'm in a mental space where I can't do that for anybody else. Like I'm just very selfish with my art. I will share it. I mean, I'm more than happy to share my entries and my illustrations and like whatever it is I'm doing. I'm more than happy to share that, but like it's very difficult for me to produce that for other people. I don't know why. Like my mind is just not wired in that way. So I envy a lot of you guys who are like, oh yeah, I'm working on a project with these people. I'm gonna publish this, and I'm joining like a production team to work on that. Like I envy you guys a lot for that. To be able to push through that or to remove your ego from the art. I guess that's the best way I can say it. Who's laughing? It's for real. Like who's like? I mean that seriously. I mean it with like all the screaming heart.
No, I wasn't laughing at you. I'm having two conversations at once right now. Sorry.
Okay, you're good.
That's why I got held up earlier.
You're fine. This man's over here playing Destiny, and we're having like deep talks. He's like, stop. Anyway.
But yeah, that's the point that I came in at. I saw that there's some newer faces here in the chat room earlier. How did that go?
Oh, Jesus. But he came through with like the knowledge about building characters, creating worlds, understanding motives. It was insanely good.
That sucks. That's fine. Since we're actually writing our story.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, where's Dustin? Like, Destiny's serious. You know, lucky for you, I was taking notes the whole time he was talking. So I'll just send this to you. Dustin, where have you been now? So, sorry.
No.
What are you gonna say, Jesus?
I was just gonna say I was surprised people could actually understand what I was saying.
When you have a message to give, it's received. It doesn't matter how you're delivering the information. If people are being present with you, it's going to be received. That's something that I learned with Brendan when we did the podcast. Like I was like, I don't know if what I was saying was making sense, but the message is delivered. So that's that. Yeah, it shows that people are.
episode.
What?
It was an excellent podcast
Oh,
episode.
thank you. That was cool. That was cool, man. It was just like a little insight as to what we do as artists, just like this. It's just like this right now. This whole 3-hour conversation that we're having.
Say that you're starting to wind down for the night.
I'm not sure. I mean, you are just now joining the chat, so I guess I want to ask you the same questions that I asked earlier. If you would like to give input. I started the conversation asking how people deal with burnout, and because it sounded like today was a rest day for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yes, thank God.
I think for me personally, when it comes to burnout, the last time it's been a while since the last time I felt like I went through it. It might have been when I was doing commissions, honestly, and like I feel like I was doing a lot of what I didn't really necessarily care about, and that seemed to kind of have like a cumulative effect over time. But with this current project that we've been working on now, there are a lot of moments where I feel like I would run into that naturally, just because a lot of work is entailed with it. But there's actually a lot of facets too that come with it, where it keeps things fresh, because we're writing for it, we're illustrating for it, we're brainstorming for characters and ideas and plots, we're structuring everything so it's organized in a presentable manner. So we even have a side section where I'm helping write music for it as well. So it's a lot to it, to where I think the only thing that really burns me out now is not so much about the task at hand, but more about the fear, the stress that comes with what's going to happen eventually. Because I don't even know how well it's going to do in but I'm not really the type to be online and see it, because when it comes to media and advertising, to bring attention to the things that I do. Granted, I'm much rather do that kind of thing in person. Like, I'm very hopeful and positive when it comes to handling situations. And when it comes to online things, if I'm gonna have a conversation with you, I'd much rather call it the executive. You know what I mean? So with this whole aspect of like trying to help this project come back and help and stuff, if I were to advertise it, I'd rather try to go through the trouble of like setting up a meeting with a radio station or something and going on so like setting up advertisements and just sharing posting and going on threads and forums and things like that. When I think about that's what gets me stressed out and worried about the next thing.
Wait, what was that? I'm sorry, you cut off for a second.
When it comes to think about when it comes to that sort of aspect of things, that's where I start to get kind of worn out, and just by and really I've realized too, it's a lot of me being inside my own head about it.
So what would you do for recovery then, or what types of things? Because I mean, it sounds like you just go nonstop, but then there has to come a point where you hit that limit and you have to rest. So what is the recovery like?
It's a lot simpler than it may seem. I just honestly, I live a step away from it. But I'll probably play a game for a little bit. Spend time with my fiance. Watch a movie. Just things. Whatever takes my mind over for that moment. That's how it kind of decompresses. Like the idea of what I'm working on now excites me to get almost like to the point that it gives me a second wind to where I'm overdoing it, And so this is the first time in my life I've been this involved in one thing, this do. So I think because of how fresh it is to me, the feeling of burnout isn't common, but it used to be.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So it's definitely like changed your drive allows you to keep going,
Yeah.
but burnout does not feel as overwhelming as it may be for other people.
Right.
Wow, that's interesting.
But yeah,
That's discipline, dog.
I
Real
think
talk. Yeah.
I think normally though too, like I said before, it's just a matter of like just stepping away for a moment. Like, something as small as like literally getting fresh air and like taking a walk like does wonders, you know?
Justin is not here tonight, but I remember last time we were having the round table. He's like, I just sleep. Straight up, he's like, I sleep.
Yeah.
Man is like, fuck reality for like 2 hours. I'm gonna just nap and not think about work.
Is that
It's like a
is that
bed.
something that y'all were dealing with recently? Because it sounded like Rock was for sure the way you kind of explained earlier how like you get weighed down by burnout. I guess is that something that you've been kind of dealing with lately?
You have to, and I guess it's dependent on what is going on in your timeline. Like if you have too much on your plate, sometimes you really do have to pause. Like instead of droning out to music or zoning out to something or turning on TV to distract yourself, you really have to pause and be quiet with your thoughts so that you can sort them out. I think that's part of it for me.
Right.
Yeah, because it's like too much stimulus going on, and then I don't have an opportunity to decompress any of it. It's like, okay, like my body's in shock because I'm feeding it too much information. This is wild. Like, yeah, that's how it is for me. So I guess everyone copes with it differently. I just wanted to see what types of ways that other people engage themselves in order to reset that part. But thanks for your input. I like that. It's like you are so dedicated to your craft that it just does not bother you. Like I want to say I want to be at that level, but also I'm kind of afraid of what would happen because it's like you just keep chugging along, and then at some point you have to hit the brakes. You're like, oh shit, I don't have any anymore.
Here's something for sure. Like I've been dealing with, like as a matter of fact today, where I don't know if it's burnout necessarily, but I definitely get stressed when I'm stepping outside my comfort zone. Like naturally, like anyone feels, but in particular with like say like drawing, you're used to drawing all the time, but it could be something in a completely different angle than what you're used to, right? Like I wish I was better at dynamic posing and angling stuff with compositions. And I know I can get there. It just takes me a lot longer. I would like, but then like I think about Rock, right? Like just as an example, he's amazing, and I love when he does those sorts of things. I remember asking him specifically about that. But like you said earlier, it really just harkens back to discipline and doing something, on a regular basis. I mentioned it to my partner, and I was like, that exact issue has been kind of weighing down on me a little bit. So if I'm facing it in that moment, I get like really kind of like annoyed, where it's like, fuck, dude, I really want to like bang this out so I can move on to the next thing. I'm spending way too much time on the art. But then like I step back and I realize like, well, I don't draw this way every day. Like I have old problems with like, I remember going back to when I was in college and in figure drawing class, for example, it was like a daily exercise that we had to do like homework. You had to do like 50 thumbnail sketches like each night or whatever. And I did not have the discipline to do that. And I like doing one really badass looking piece and you know what I mean?
Like, this is the one. If I had to show anything, it would be this one. That's it.
But like doing like 50 things over and over, it can just feel so monotonous. And I feel that way now, but like I realize the benefit of doing that too.
Right.
And you can like Brandon's thing, like he does these action studies.
Brandon is a beast.
Brandon's beast.
Yeah, he's been doing these action studies. When I see it, I was like, damn, like, I really wish I could sit and do that, but I don't have the patience for it. I just don't.
Okay, see that word that word you just said, patience. We're getting really impatient with ourselves.
But
Yeah.
but the other hand of that too is me realizing what we're doing, what we're working on. There's so much to it. It's like I wanna like I've always kind of been that way, you know. Like I feel like I just don't want something to take forever. You know what I mean? And be able to go on stage and see what's after what I'm at right now. But it'll come in time. It's just a matter of like stuff like that.
Yep.
So the mere thought of like not being able to come out the gate sprinting like I want to is what weighs me down at times. But again,
because you know what you're capable of, because you know your level of execution. I think that's why, and I think that's a big part of when you get to a certain point in your craft where you have reached a certain level of professionalism or whatever you want to call it, the skill level that you have. You get impatient because you want it sooner, because you know that you can do it.
Exactly.
That's crazy. That's confidence too. That's awesome. Isn't that dope though? Like just how psychology works. Like you reach a certain skill level in your lifetime, and you're like, I should be getting this, but I don't. Like, damn. Like I gotta rebuild those muscles to do that. Crazy.
It's literally like, you know, being really this is like in a real life aspect. Well, not, I mean, this is all real life, but in a different subject. I'm a black belt in karate. Right?
Jeez, my guy.
Super out of shape though.
Yo, what?
And like,
wait, pause. Are you serious?
yeah, well, I wouldn't lie about that. But yeah.
Do you have like an action? Do you have like a demo reel?
I know, like show us some stuff.
Like let's see this in the chat. If you got like a YouTube or like a TikTok or some type of page where you're sharing this where we don't see it, please do it, because I am here for that.
Well, that's kind of my point though, right? Like I have that literally like under my belt, right? But at the same time, like I'm super out of shape too. Like I haven't done it regularly in a couple of years now. And
okay. So you've been sleeping. Okay.
It's not where
See, that's the thing. He's been sleeping, and he might say he's out of shape, but he still has that death touch on lock, so you ain't got to worry about it. He's just
I know, right?
Whatever.
Yeah.
5 finger touch of death, done. Man, where's my pizza?
I can barely hear right now. Is that just me? Or?
Not again. That might be my mic.
Okay.
No, Brand was just hyping you up. He's saying that even though you haven't practiced it, you could still whoop somebody's ass.
Oh, yeah, probably. But
He's like, yeah.
There's that modesty. He's like,
I know.
probably. He's like, I'm cool suckers. I'm just not gonna talk about it.
He's like, yeah, I'm gonna go body these people, and it's just like that's just nothing. That's
Goes
just
back 5
water
minutes.
under the
Oh yeah,
bridge.
I was just chilling. He like beat somebody up.
It's hilarious. Oh my god.
to just change the subject really quick. What would the other members kind of like earlier?
Well, I mean, I just asked a few questions to the chat and asking how everybody deals with burnout. We were also talking about music. Jesus was touching base with about his favorite composers and what makes a soundtrack good and what his favorite soundtracks are. Like, it was really good. Like, you slept on this whole chat.
You missed this whole thing.
Oh my gosh.
You should have been here. Should have been here like 2 hours ago, bro.
No, but I met these like really cool guys and like we're farming this shit out.
All right. That's
He's
cool.
like, I was on the dopest Destiny run. I'm sorry, y'all.
No, see, like Dustin was doing something that was important to him. Like we're talking about engaging things that you love. That's one of those things. Like, so don't feel bad that you missed out, but also like I didn't take notes on everything.
This shit's not important to me. I just do it. I might, especially if you're talking about music and composers and stuff.
Well, okay, so let's ask Dustin then. Dustin, do you have any favorite soundtracks or albums, or is there a specific genre that makes you feel some type of way? Is there something that you listen to get in a certain mood?
Hell yeah! Like like every time I draw, like I can't do it without music. And with the subject matter I'm doing now, you know, it's normally cinematic pieces
Wow.
James Newton Howard, Howard Shore, Hans Zimmer, Steve
Mm-hmm.
is another one.
Zimmer the goat.
Who
Zimmer,
is
Zimmer the goat.
Ramin Djawadi, I think the guy.
Oh, the Game of Thrones composer.
Yeah. Someone else, man, dude, no one knows about him. What's his name? He did the music to Elysium, and
Who is that?
I can't. I would look it up, but we're in the middle of a sorry. But anyway, things along the and then I really loved like more indie's not the correct word, but I'll just say indie just because they're you know YouTubers that make their own stuff too. Their own little renditions of pieces from any of those people that I just named. But what's his name? James Kim or something like that. It doesn't matter. But either
I am really terrible at names. I'm sorry.
The point is, I love cinematic work.
So okay. So then the adverse question of that was, what happens in the absence of sound? Is there a point where you cannot have music? Is there a point where you get to where you're like, no, I can't. I just need to silence everything.
I'm starting to learn that it might be a detriment for me to even have that shit on if I'm trying to write.
Really?
Yeah, and I would have thought that would have been asked if I say like I have like the soundtrack from The Dark Knight.
Yes.
And I'm trying to write for a character in my story that is Batman-esque. It's just a reference. That would I would get more into the music than I would what I'm writing at the time, and it's distracting for me. Like I'm starting to realize that I might need to actually see what that's like for me to just kind of have things off, or maybe just more ambient noise. Like I don't know, like you know, any of those like nature sound collection things you can find online, like water rushing.
Oh, my favorite is the cityscape. When you listen to just the skyline, you just hear it's just white noise, and you just hear like faint horns in the background. It's really great. It's because it makes you feel like you're in the city. Like I would listen to that if I'm trying to do like, I don't know, like a cyberpunk type thing, like because you want to be in that city feel, you want to be connected to technology, you want to be in the hustle and bustle of stuff. Like you really get that way. Like we were talking earlier about how sound holds memory and emotion, how music is a stimulant. I really love what Jesus said earlier. Music is a stimulant, and how there's a deeper meaning to the vibrational energy and things like that. Whew, you missed that. but the point of that was like how sound takes us to places and evokes things in us, but also the absence of sound is to make a point of something, to be, it's situational, and that it helps get a specific focus across. Like that is the purpose of removing sound. It's removing that stimulant. Like so to your process of writing, I can see why you would do that.
Yeah. So I think at the end of the day, though, there needs to be some sort of, like you said, like some sort of white noise or just noise in general that for me to not distract myself from whatever form of ADD or whatever I might have. Yeah, it's integral just to get through the day. I feel like.
It has its roles, and I think we use it when we need it or when we think we need it. Sometimes it's automatic, like if you, like Rox was saying earlier, sometimes I need to put a soundtrack on when I drive just because I need it, and it's because it makes sense. It makes it it makes the activity less mundane, and it takes away any tension from the silence. Sometimes I think things are a little to feel a little too serious when the music stops sometimes. So.
And what do you mean too serious?
What?
What do you mean by that?
For example, where I work at a doctor's office, and we keep like a low profile sound, like there's music playing in the background, and it's good background noise for the patients who are waiting, because you don't have to hear them having their small conversations, or like they don't have to listen to us making phone calls to other offices or for patients. Like it just drowns out whatever important task is being done. So when the music stops or when the music gets cut for whatever reason, it's like, oh, okay, something happened. Like either we lost connection to the internet, or like something died, or like, you know, like the energy or the power went out or something. Like usually it signals something to us, like, oh, something happened and we need to pay attention. Like that's what the power of silence does. And I feel like I've gotten to a point where I'm kind of used to that background noise and just having it, because it helps the day move a lot faster. Granted, I don't always want it to be there. It's like sometimes the music really is distracting, but also it's like it's not just for me. It's for it's creating the ambience of that entire office. So yeah, so that in that way, that's what I mean. Like when there's like an awkward silence or like there's tension in the air, it's because, oh, okay, now everybody can hear me shuffling papers, or they can hear me taking steps around the room, or they can hear me everything that I'm doing. Like you become more self-aware.
You
Like,
think that might just be you and no one actually cares?
oh no, bro. Oh no, everybody can hear it. Oh no. Where because when the music cuts, you can hear like a baby crying in the background, or you can hear the doctors having conversations in their offices. It's like, and it's like, oh, this is like a breach of HIPAA. Like this, we kind of need that background noise to fill that.
Okay.
So people are, so like there is a purpose for it, but also it's like it's so, I don't know. I guess that's where I'm at in my head. So yes, it is in my head. But also I think it's for other people too. It is for other people. So.
But come on. Sorry.
Are you still playing right now? Are you on the campaign?
Yeah, no, it's something like that, but yeah, we're still playing.
Nice.
This dude. Is there anything that you're working on right now, Dustin, that you wanted to share with the group? Because we've been getting some links in the chat. So.
Like visual stuff, like.
Or whatever. Yeah, whatever you want to share. Because this is like the first. This is like the first group meeting in like several months since hearing from y'all.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I can for sure. Right this very second, I cannot. I'm like my life at the moment, but give me like 2 minutes and someone else can do it if y'all probably have it. I'm sure you have, but just give me.
It's no rush, dude.
It's alright.
Is everyone working on art tonight? Is everyone working on art besides for those of us who aren't playing Destiny?
So, all right.
Yes.
I'm just bagging on my man because he wasn't here for like 3 hours,
know.
and now we have to like catch him up. I'm just playing.
Rok-Mo
That's so
over here with
funny.
like the excellent like digital painting. Like I hate myself.
Oh, stop it. Oh,
Alright.
man.
We got her. Okay, so.
Ooh-wee.
Well, I saw the new little teaser image that I finished a couple days ago.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that,
Right.
right?
That thing was on fuego.
Wait, was it?
Yo, what?
I think was it the logo, or was it something, or did you release 2 things towards the project?
I think just that one recently as of right now.
Okay.
I started working on another kind of like
Dude,
post.
that looks cool. Is that
Cool.
like, is that your independent project that you were working on, or is it? Oh.
Yeah, that's like a very small fraction of it. Yeah. So the overall thing is it's working towards a graphic novel. So it's like it's one about high fantasy subject. That particular one is the sigil for the kingdom that the story is going to revolve around. So I'm bringing.
Not to interrupt, but
Yeah.
do you think I could? Do you have like an Instagram? Cause like whenever I hear anything like fantasy, like I gotta follow it.
Yo, okay, Jesus and Dustin need to link up for
Yeah.
real.
Yeah, sure.
They do.
Give me one.
We do.
Hey, are you still going for the night, or are you done too? Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm still here too. I can probably keep going. I'm still on my call right now, so I'm still. I don't know if anybody probably add to it or anything, but I'm still here either way.
You're still here. We got you, Will. We got you.
Okay. No, in the party or whatever until you guys are ready. I'm gonna take my mic out right now. Okay. Cool.
About to do another run.
Sorry, bro. Dude, we're doing some serious farming, man. We gotta
Right.
get these materials. Let me see. Share my screen real quick. Yeah, if you go to, I can actually type it in.
Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat.
Yeah.
Put it in the chat.
Put it in the chat. Hype yourself up, boy.
I know. Hype it up. Go.
Hype.
I'm pretty sure it's the same.
I'll send
I'm pretty sure it's the same screen name that I use on here, like what I just put.
On Instagram.
On
That's
Instagram.
right.
On Instagram, yeah.
oh yeah, Dustin.
Yeah.
Sick. Oh, was this the? Oh. Okay.
It's like,
Okay. All right. Okay. Dude, that looks did. Okay. Yeah, I lost my word. That
Okay.
looks the last hair. Hair.
Air.
The last
Yeah.
air.
Like I said, I can't pronounce a lot of words. You have to forgive me. But that just looks. Wow. That's beautiful.
I appreciate it.
Yo, I want to read
no.
that. When it comes out, tell the chat where it is so we can all read it.
Oh, I'm gonna tell as many people as I can, as much time as I
Yo.
spend. Trust me.
Let's go.
Advertising, baby.
come on.
I'm just gonna bring up a few images here.
Do not sleep on this man. Do not sleep on anybody in this chat. Everybody's got something cool going on. This is me just amping everybody up.
And one thing I wish I could just like instantly wish for was learning how to draw characters.
What do you? I don't know anything about you, so I mean, I feel like I've been talking nonstop since I've been here, man. I'm sure you did your introductions already, but
Yeah. Well, I'm Reggie's buddy.
Okay.
I like to make music, and I recently got into 3D.
Hell yeah. See, 3D is a whole other beast in itself. Yeah, so do you work with like Maya and
Blender.
Blender?
Actually-
That's what I was trying to think of. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I finished like I think it's like 3 months now.
Mhm.
But what did I go back to? Like I recently actually went full effort and trying to actually start. I'm trying to use because I can't draw. Like I'm utterly hopeless. So
You're
that,
still learning. Don't do that to yourself. You're still learning.
oh, that's why I started doing 3D because like I don't see like I'm more familiar I guess with like the 3D than accurately drawing. But there is this. I recently just finished because I wanted to start world building, like actually, because I think that's the most beautiful thing with art, able to like bring somebody's imagination, basically print an image out of somebody's head.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like, leave this.
I know. Where did you? Are you showing them the artwork? or showing them the 3D, or show them your
The little
Instagram.
chapel thing. I forgot what it. Oh, it's in here.
Oh, you're gonna drop it in the chat. Yeah, MS is like, I'm like, just look at this. Look at what he shares with you.
It's. I'm still learning, so keep that in mind. But
That's
I
fine.
like,
I think we're all still learning. We're all
Yeah.
constantly learning, for real.
I think it's. Alright. So this is supposed to be like.
Oh my god. Yo.
Yeah, that's what I was talking
Why has this
about.
man being so quiet?
I know.
Why
He's
is this
like,
man so
I'm still
quiet?
learning. I'm like, this is
Why
a
is
real.
Yes.
Yo.
Legit.
Oh my god. Yo, I want to go there.
That's tight.
See, I'm seeing this and I'm like, I want to go there. I want to be, I know it's not real, but I want to be there.
That's tight. I could
Thank you,
use
thank you.
I could actually use you, man.
I know. He's like,
Hey,
help.
like I am obsessed with fantasy, man. I'm just letting you know that.
This is awesome.
But
That's so dope. I
Thank
feel
you.
like I've been there in a dream before. I feel like I've seen that space before. Like that's the emotion I'm getting from it. Like I've seen it before in a dream, but I can't say where. It's like
How long does it normally take you to do something like this?
well, this took me 3 days maybe,
Okay.
but like it was just majority of the time was just I guess figuring out what I wanted it to look like. But I just wanted to get used. I was trying not to use assets. I was trying to just obviously like the statue and the tree and the vines I didn't make, but I guess I was basically just trying to like do the architecture, which is it's simple.
this is in Blender?
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
That was actually the next question I was going to ask you of like how much of it were assets and others you had to like sculpt yourself and stuff.
Oh yeah, the statues and the material, the surface materials I got from Quizzle.
Yeah, Quixel.
The
Yeah.
tree, Quizzle. Yeah, there we go. The tree and the the grass and the vines was from this add-on called Bontinque. It's an add-on for Blender.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Damn, dude.
Too
That was
good.
crazy.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a cathedral or something.
This
Oh,
man
yeah.
was like, I'm still learning. And then he comes up with
I
this
know.
this
See,
thing.
that's why I was like,
like, what?
Yeah.
He's like, and he's
Well,
like,
I-
I'm still learning. Like, bro, what?
I think you're definitely on
You're up there.
the fast track to success.
that's what I was
I've
like.
been-
Gosh, dang.
Like I've been on literally like I would practice literally I'll get home from work and just do it all day and then go to sleep. Like I've been like it's like literally hours each day. Like
Right.
I'm telling you again, it goes back. I'm gonna have to hype up Reggie again. I'm sorry, Reg. Last time for the night, I promise. But like I remember I actually tried 3D a long time ago, like 2-3 years ago. I was like, there's no way I could do this. I'm out. And I don't know. Here comes Reggie. You know, here he comes. You know, he's just this dude knows exactly what to say. Was hyping me up. You know, he's giving me all this advice, and I was like, all right, I can't let Reggie's words go to waste. And,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, I don't know. It just really stuck to me. I was just I don't know, like again, it goes back to Reggie basically making me believe in myself.
Do you live out in California as well?
Yeah.
Okay. So you know all these guys like in person?
Just Reggie.
Oh, just right. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Very neat.
Thank you.
Do you post your work anywhere else, like besides the chat? Is there anywhere that you publish it online?
I mean, I'll put it on my Instagram and Twitter, but like I don't really.
Throw it in the chat. Throw it in the chat.
No.
Please,
Oh, it's on-
please. I want to see
Is
more of
this
it.
one? Oh yeah. I'll eventually post something.
All right. right, this man is just being very modest. I'm gonna leave him alone. So,
Well, to be fair, you do the same thing when people talk about like your writing and stuff. And you're
bro,
like,
shut up. Bro, shut up.
so
Oh.
just play it chill. Let them chill.
All right.
Nah,
I would
his
take that,
Instagram isn't. You got his Instagram's up there though in the chat, in the
Oh, dope,
Discord.
okay.
It's right underneath the
Let me
SoundCloud.
go.
So
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go
It's
peep
just a mixture of like everything.
So,
Wicked something.
Yep.
this was
Hey.
this was the thing I was mentioning earlier. I'm not used to drawing stuff like this kind of like glowing perspective, just as an example, I guess. But I feel like it's on its way to looking kind of presentable at some point. But I think it still needs some work here and there, but it's getting there. I guess. That's pretty much what I was doing like all day today until my pen died on me and I had to like step back for a second and take a break. But other than that, I mean, it's just this until I'll paint it later and fill it in. I'll do character faces like this, just to fill in for some of the characters that we're writing bios for, and so we know what they look like. Then on the side, I'll do like animal studies like here, so I can understand what the fuck I'm drawing at least, because like there's a lot of animals and made up ones too. Some of these, and that's okay. That's the tightest thing about this so far. Like as a recent development, we kind of shifted a little bit the focus to see if we can try to get some. Because we're gonna have like a deity like and animals in this, given the context of the story and what's happening in it. In a nutshell, like there are trees, like one specifically that's active as of right now in the current events of the story. But the way that these particular trees work is that essentially they give off a radiance or a type of spiritual energy that and then it speeds up like almost like an evolutionary kind of process. And so in regards to these animals, for example, like basically the longer that they've been around that tree and they have their offsprings and the way the cycle of life kind of plays out in the long run, that spirit energy is kind of carried out throughout their bloodline, and it potentially gets stronger the more that it lives on. So eventually you would get these kind of technically these mutated versions, say of like this wolf that's up there right now, right? This would be a regular one, but there are select few that are tied in directly with the tree on a more, like I said, on a spiritual sense, where they unlock a certain or tap into a certain part of themselves within. Say like they're like if we on average were to use 10 to 15% of our brain power or whatever, what it's doing is tapping into parts of you where you're reaching points that you normally wouldn't. And your body is reacting to certain parts of the environment more. So this wolf later on would be something that's going to resemble more of its environment, like it's one with its environment, one with the trees and the forest and whatnot. So throwing on some moss-like fur around like its mane, or branches extending out from its joints and its legs, things of that nature. It's like make it look more fantasy-like. I guess something that would resemble like a summon or a monster from like Final Fantasy or something like that. That's a lot of the writing is just giving context as to how these things work and setting ground for them, so that it's not just saying, oh, it's like this because of method. Like I don't want like a lazy approach. It's just giving easy explanations and answers as to why certain things are working the way that they do.
Yeah. I think Jesus was talking about that
Yeah.
earlier because he was saying how like the personality of the character revolves around the goal or revolves around the world that it thrives in. Like that makes so it makes sense that you have to create that world and then understand how how textures like moss or grass or mud works on the
Yeah.
body. So it makes
Yeah.
sense.
So
And I have to read this, man. You're literally describing everything I love about it.
appreciate the enthusiasm for sure. That's what keeps us going. You know, like we share little bits here and there, and so long as someone's that's cool, and that's like even more reason to keep going. You know,
I can promise you, I'm definitely keep my eye on that.
That was
the world map that we have for it so far, anyway. But the bulk of part one is going to be revolving around this particular area here, like this chunk of land between these two nations. Part two is going to be centered around this continent alone.
Wait, where I can't. Oh, is this in the general? Like I'm sorry. Never mind. I couldn't see any of this. I was like, why? Okay, sorry. Keep going. I can see it now.
Our Asia. There'll be two stories being told simultaneously, but during the same timeline of events, essentially. Of those two stories pick up. We're having fun with it. So.
Okay.
What's the other?
Alright.
here.
Yeah.
So I have my computer looking at your screen.
I heard a bunch of beep boops and stuff.
Probably me. It's probably me. I was trying to figure it out. I was like, how can I see what it's about? Oh, technology.
I just closed it. I don't know if it's...
Are you fine? I got to see it looked like you had a nap, and I saw the wolf. That looks dope. I like the animal studies though because it's like you get to see how the structure, the skeletal structure, like that's crazy. How similar shit is. Like that's one.
Y'all know who Aaron Blaze is?
Oh yeah.
No.
He's not retired, but he's like a past Disney character artist. Yeah, I see a bunch of ads for like his lessons and stuff on the pretty often, and yeah, he had this like super sale going on his website a while back. It seems like he always does now recently, but when I went that one time, he was essentially selling like packs of videos and lesson plans and stuff for like $1 each, essentially. And that's where that wolf one comes from. And I'm just barely scratching the surface on what came with that particular one. But yeah, I got them like $20, something like that. Which normally, according to his things, was like, I guess normal value is like over, I don't know, $200-300 or something like that. So like whatever his pricing is set up, however that is, it was a good deal that particular day
Bank on that. Bank on that.
So that's where those lesson plans came from. Those exercises, I should say, the wolf stuff. It was like the ones that I got were it's like for those wolves, foxes, coyotes, like dogs basically.
Yeah.
Bunch of brushes, like fur brushes and skin textures, things like that. Sure.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a good one, for sure.
Nice.
For sure.
Do you find it easier drawing like the animal references over drawing people or backgrounds or structures?
To be honest, I don't even know yet.
Yeah.
I'm not used to drawing animals like that, but I feel like because it's so fresh to me right now, I don't even care about like going in ignorant on or not used to doing it. You know what I mean? Because it's so fun, like doing like this new thing finally, and it doesn't feel like I'm behind on it. Like I mean, granted, to pause the video a lot because obviously he works a lot faster. And I have to like, kind of catch up every now and then. Sometimes that might be frustrating, but again, that goes back to what I was saying before about how like I want to get to point, Q right after, as opposed to A, B, and so on.
Man,
So-
do I feel you on that one?
Yeah, so, I don't feel like it's a problem, but like as far as like which one I like more, I mean, people in general when it comes to drawing, I'm like it's so complex, like I was saying before, like I don't know if you saw it or not, but like that one image I was working on, I said I'm not used to drawing from a low angle perspective, and it could like that slight tilt of the quote unquote camera or point of view changes everything as far as like just as simple as line, that one tilt can like fuck your whole thing up if you know what you can. So as opposed to like drawing a horse or a wolf or something like that, like I've drawn like horses before, and I don't know, I feel like I don't really struggle nearly as much with that for some reason. I'm not sure like why. Oh, I know why, because I heard it in a lesson plan that I did one time. I was like, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, share that.
It's because like because we're humans, obviously. If you're drawing someone else, like a person, then pretty instinctively know what a person looks like because you're used to being around them all the time.
Yes.
Or if you're drawing a cat or a dog or a bird, like you're less harsh on it and you're less harsh in receiving, like looking, because that's not part of your natural anatomy. Like it's like for an object. So if you're doing, I mean, obviously there's a difference between a good drawing and a bad drawing of like the same thing.
Right.
But as far as like doing it and seeing it, you're not going to be as critical about the position or placement of, say, a cheetah's nose. If you went off from the placement of its eyes, as opposed to where you would if you were doing the same thing if you're drawing like your neighbor or your teacher or something. You know what I mean? So it's like a familiarity issue, basically, where you're accustomed to like seeing something every day, and like you would know the instant when something is off. But if you do something alien, then it doesn't matter nearly as much. And I think I don't really know how to place that yet, as far as which one I enjoy and which one's harder.
Right. But that's good though that you're practicing it. It looks really good right now. So kudos.
Appreciate it. Rock's about to crash on us.
I know. I'm like falling asleep over here. I was like, dang, I'll get sleepy. I don't know. I got some ice cream. I might jump on, get this ice cream and chill or something for a minute. I think I'm hungry too, but I'm like.
Well, I mean, we've been here for a couple hours, so is it time to close up shop?
3 hours and 26 minutes. I mean, that's a pretty good session.
Yeah, I think into like my body clock is usually 10 o'clock. I'm usually going to sleep. I think that's also why my body's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. A physical miracle.
It's like, what are you doing up? What the heck's going on? But I'm like, it's Saturday. I can be up, right? My body's like, no. I'm like, what? I don't have to go to work.
Once in a while, right? And your body's like, sucker, go to bed.
It's like that anymore. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I still want to chill. I don't want to break the conversations and all this stuff.
Oh no, you're good.
That,
I mean,
and now comes just now, Paul.
Oh, I know he did. Somebody did just jump in here.
This dude has been like
building. Let's go.
All
Justin
right.
has been like coming out with like all these crazy portrait studies. Like, yo, man, big props to Justin and his study. Those have been amazing,
Oh, yeah.
dude.
Hello.
Hello. Whoa. Can we wait? Talk again, Justin. Make sure we can hear you.
You guys can hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
How's it going, man?
Good. Just waiting for my Uber.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you're done with work now, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, man's is just now
Okay.
leaving work. Okay.
I'm gonna go get some ice cream. I'll stay up a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
Right.
just-
gonna disconnect just in a few minutes, then I'll connect back in minutes or so.
All right, sounds good.
That's cool. Keep it going.
For sure.
Okay.
All right, so I'll be back.
Okay,
All right, yo.
All right,
for
thanks.
sure. For sure.
That's your boy Holton.
It's fine if like we're not supposed to like sit here forever. So if some of us need to take a break and go on an ice cream break, or go on like a water break or a bathroom break, that's totally cool. I mean, Party B has kept this whole conversation going anyway. So I mean,
well, my headphones still or something. No, my volume was turning on.
oh,
I figured if I talking to someone.
So let's just say, if we're gonna wait on Justin Holton, then
Can we roll?
maybe a quick 10-minute break.
Okay. If people want to come back, I
One
don't.
quick
I'm not
10-minute
really.
break. I'm probably gonna go lay down in this bed and fall
Pass
asleep.
out.
I don't know. I like got super tired. When I get tired now, I get tired like really quick. It just like
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, you gotta be respecting that. You gotta
yeah.
honor that rest because you can't just do like you can't marathon a 9-hour sleep day and then be like, no, I'm gonna be going back at it
Extreme
right now.
sleep and then extreme like staying up.
Work.
Like, nah, dude.
Work.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna head out then. I'm gonna
It's all
be
good.
All right.
just, oh
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I wasn't sure how long you guys intended to have this up, but the conversation has been amazing, and I've got like a whole page of notes here. So
Yeah,
sure, it's been great.
what I'm planning on doing is just taking a quick break, and then I'll probably come back. So if you and Justin want to keep the conversation going until Justin gets in, then that's fine.
Justin hopped in for like 5 seconds to say what's up, and then he
Wait,
bounced.
did he go play Destiny again?
Who, Dustin is
don't
already
know.
gone.
Dang.
I think he unplugged his mic.
Oh,
okay,
okay.
okay.
Not
Oh, that's
talking
right.
about me while I'm here. I appreciate that.
No, we're here. I think we're just chilling because it's like we're close. We're nearing the end of the night and
Oh,
of the day.
I noticed.
Yeah, all the energy's been expelled. So I don't know.
It's been
I think I'm
awesome.
just gonna take a quick 5-minute
So,
break.
so what's the plan? You want to call it or wait for Justin? What you want to do?
Well, I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna head out.
Yeah, I think Mans needs to sleep. Mans needs to sleep.
Yeah. I'm gonna head out, and I'm most likely I'm gonna get up early anyway. My body's gonna
Maybe
be
one day you'll be built for the night, but for now, get your rest, my friend.
right.
One day you'll become the night people. But until then, get your regular rest.
Yeah. All right then. Well, you guys, I'm gonna head out. I'm about to just cut this stream for anybody watching this stream.